would say after freshman year of high school, I was like, dude, I'm trying to fuck bitches. Get me out of here. So that's
Wait, so like,
what?
so you had like,
Mike's
you
like,
had
I
all that,
bitches.
I didn't have. The only
Had to
thing
leave
that I
that
didn't
retarded
have was like
class
English
to get
because
the
that was
bitches.
kind of like a freshman.
So you
sophomore.
didn't get Mr.
No, thank God.
Damn.
But and then from there I went to Votech, so that's probably why.
Oh,
we
you're
Vocational
know each
school.
other.
kids.
Yeah.
Were there a lot more bitches in Votech than the retard
No,
part?
Votech was just
There was
the
bitches with
dirtiest
skills at
possible people.
Votech.
Okay.
They know how to do
Votech
things
got
like
a bad rap.
hair.
The
Yeah.
like they were the Votech kids.
I mean, you get
They got to leave early
you
and
get
they didn't go to
but you-
to Votech.
but
is
you learn a
basically
fucking
the
skill
rumor.
out the gate. Like, I mean, that ain't too bad. But like,
And it was such bullshit because like I went for like machining and welding, and I think that I just hid behind all the machines for 2 years, and I got a 90%. Like they don't give a shit at all. Like they didn't. I don't think I learned. Like I mean, I learned a little bit about manufacturing, which is kind of what I do now. But it's like, no, like I didn't learn how to work on like CNC or any shit like that. But yeah, I mean, what grade were you in?
I graduated in 13.
Okay, so you were right behind me. Shit.
When
Right
did,
above
when did
you.
you graduate, Mike?
Oh yeah, you were grade above me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you were in there with and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Cameron, he was 2 years behind me.
Man, I feel
So-
old.
So he was there. Oh, he might know my.
I was
brother.
2009.
2000, dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
About
Mhm.
9 years, before.
Yeah,
me.
my brother. Cameron probably knows my brother. Then he was in his grade. That's crazy. I didn't know you were from. Yeah, Caden. Yeah, you know Caden.
Yeah, if
Caden,
you
he's
saw-
a wild boy. Yeah.
Yeah, if you saw me, I was probably just like, I was a little fucking weirdo that cared way too much about the military because that's what I was planning on doing.
Wait, were you friends with Lieutenant Dan? Do you remember?
Well, Lieutenant Dan, who's that?
He was the kid that walked around in fatigues all the time. You remember that kid? We used to call him Lieutenant Dan. He knows who Lieutenant
Who
Dan
the fuck is Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah.
What?
Really? What?
What?
Sad news on the podcast.
Who the
Lieutenant Dan
fuck
is
is
dead.
Lieutenant Dan?
Can we announce that?
I don't. Yeah, dude,
Who's
Lieutenant
the-
Dan. He would walk around in fucking boots and a fatigue every day, literally every day. So we just call him Lieutenant
Why
Dan.
didn't I
'cause-
see him? Where was this? This is
And
crazy.
he got in a fight with. He got in a fight with. What's
Cancer
his
got
name?
him. I
Um,
got the news. Cancer got him.
or no, Dan, forget Dan. He was a weird kind of fat kid.
Okay.
They duked it out in the hallway one day.
Okay.
Lieutenant Dan showed what he was about.
No, there was a kid that was above me, and his name was like Kyle or some shit like that. He was a little bit weird. He was like German.
Oh yeah, that's fucking. He taught me how
He
to.
was,
say,
he was the one that got me into the Marine Corps, and then I just stuck with it. And then I
Yeah,
enlisted
Kyle.
after.
Kyle was like Lieutenant Dan's general.
Yeah.
Like Kyle was like who Lieutenant Dan wanted to be. But Kyle, funny enough, I don't know if you remember. Do you remember? Okay, so we always fucked with him, and Kyle came in like middle school, seventh or eighth grade, but we were in computer class and we were fucking with Brady. And I asked him, I was like, "How do you say woman beater in fucking German?" And he's like, "Von Schläger." And I was like, and that's what we would call this kid all the time because he got in trouble for hitting this girl in school. So we
Oh,
just
shit.
called him like a woman beater.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks. Like, I didn't really like pay attention to the people whenever I was in high school. I just kind of like
That's the
stayed
best part.
secluded, dude. No, I stay secluded to like my little group. I mean, I just kind of like hung out with like the Votech kids, the emo kids, the fucking punk kids.
Who was
and
her
some of
name?
the-
She was like the head of the emo
Sounds
bitches.
familiar, dude.
Yeah. Come in with like with the oversized black pants with the chains.
Oh, the fucking trip pants, dude.
Yeah, it's funny how like high schools click up
Mm-hmm.
like in different factions.
Mm-hmm. It's ironic because it was so looked down upon then, and now it's like making a resurgence back into
Yeah.
like normal fucking.
Because that was basically like I wouldn't say the counterculture, but like the opposite of
Mhm.
like where everything was going. It was like skinny jeans and all that, but they all derived from the same like
Mhm.
type of shit.
Are we recording? We should be recording. This.
Everything's
know.
been recording this whole time.
Oh, nice. Okay.
well.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fucking
Nice.
We're all-
okay. Yeah, I want to make sure.
Me
yeah.
and Cameron over having conversations and stuff, and you guys were
Mac
talking
Young.
too.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Mac's the dude.
Talking about high school counterculture, and I didn't even know we were talking. So
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, you're
Spaced
just
out.
sitting here on your
Nate
phone.
asked me if
Yeah.
I was recording, so I said no. And then once he said he was already recording everything, I hit.
Yeah, we're
record.
flying along.
nice.
It's
nice.
fine. There's a good 4 minutes of just you guys talking about random shit, so that's a plus.
Okay, that's
Oh,
cool.
that's good.
And everybody's talking directly into their microphone,
mean-
so I commend you guys for that.
Yeah,
Mac has been the best so far. Probably because he
Natural.
has.
Maybe I'm an
He said,
asshole at this.
well, you've had studio experience. If you were a
Yeah,
rapper at one point.
I used to be a rapper back
Yeah.
in the day, back in
When
my
did you-
younger days.
When did you start?
How
and
young?
Stop.
Come up some young guy.
Let me see. It started like 18, 19, and then I figured out bars and women, and
It's always the worst
Yeah.
thing. Bars and women.
So you
Yeah.
pretty much just graduated high school and you were like, I'm gonna go be.
I'm gonna go do shit.
I listened to a bunch of like music all the time, but like rap's obviously my biggest thing I listen to. But I watch a lot of podcasts, like I don't know, the Joe Budden podcast, all that shit.
The Joe Biden podcast?
Budden.
Joe Budden.
Budden.
He's a
Joe
rapper.
Budden. Who's
He's
that?
a rapper.
Okay,
you
okay.
know the
Yeah,
song,
you wouldn't know
Pump
that,
It Up,
Mike.
Pump it up.
Yeah,
Like
sounds
that's
familiar.
him. That's like his only hit.
It's the
But he's a
Budden
good
dude.
rapper, but like
It's the
he only
dude.
has like one mainstream hit.
Okay.
You ever seen what's the dance movie back in the day?
Step It Up.
No.
Dirty Dancing.
No, the black one.
Step
what,
up.
What day? Or what? Like in the 80s?
It has Omarion and fucking Marquis Houston in it.
It wasn't.
Oh, You Got Served.
Oh, You Got Served. Okay.
yeah.
It's like
that's
the
right.
big song, and You Got Served at the end when they all like.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
You never seen?
No, I don't
You
think
Got
I've ever
Served?
seen You Got Served.
I feel like you've seen You.
Hell yeah, I have.
You've seen Drumline?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Who
yeah.
hasn't
Oh
seen
yeah.
Drumline?
That's
My favorite of those movies.
It's
is,
like in that like MTV type like.
my favorite of those movies is Roll Bounce, where like Nick Cannon was running a roller skating rink.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
that was my favorite of those.
Dude, I miss those
Yeah.
old movies. They don't make any like good comedy movies like they used to or anything like that.
Actually, Matt Damon was talking about why you don't get like movies like that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's now with today's like world, it's either offensive or people are trying to make it so unoffensive that it's offensive. You know what I mean?
The reason you don't get those movies is actually because of like how things consumed. So like you could put out a movie that might have like not done well in the box office, done like 20 million in the box office, but you would get it back on like DVD sales and everything.
Okay.
But now like companies like you have to do good in the box office because it's going to go to streaming services, and then you don't get any of the back end because the fucking streaming giants are crooked.
I also think that some of these like movie and shit like that, anything that's coming out, I think that it's actually better for them to immediately go out on streaming because you're going to get that immediate blowout instead of going to the movies. Like, when was the last time any of us went to the movies?
I don't know. I want to see that Kong movie. Like,
The Kong versus Godzilla?
yeah, man. That like they need to make movies
Godzilla.
like that where I don't need to think about anything. I just want to see some fucking.
And that's a theater
Action.
movie. That's one you gotta see in the theater. Like it's better in the theater.
I'm trying to see that Civil War one that just dropped like not too long ago.
Yeah, is that on Apple? They have like a bunch of like.
No, it's straight in movie theaters right now. I don't think it's actually streaming right now.
Is it an actual Civil War movie?
Yeah, so it's not like old Civil War. It's like it's based in like our timeline, and I think it's about like the press going through a modern day Civil War in America. And it's like,
Are we not there already?
I mean, no,
The race wars are starting.
We're pretty close. I mean,
yeah, I mean we're definitely teeter tottering, but the way that they produce it, I don't think it matches up with our reality because they have like California and Texas are like the coalition. That's the enemy, and then it's like everybody else is against them, and I guess Florida as well. So it's not at all lined up with like how things would break down now.
I would
think.
say those are the most what people would say extreme states when it comes to like what they believe in.
yeah.
I mean, I'm just like it's fucking Cali or Texas or like Florida. But like when
I feel like Texas is
immediate.
starting to lean, for sure. Like California is definitely. Whenever you want to talk about bipartisan and like just one that's on one side and they never mess around on the other, it's California and New York. That I would say those are like the far left. And now Texas, I think, is in the middle ground now. Like Texas used to be far right, and I wouldn't even say far right, but now with Austin blowing up, I think that it's slowly changing. I mean, Austin has always been a thorn in their side.
I think it's still a hard red state. I don't know.
oh, it's close. It was closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's because Trump is a joke.
that?
Ruins
What
everything
is
he
that,
touches.
Beto O'Rourke.
Beto. Yeah,
Beto?
Beto. Yeah.
Beto?
Beto.
You ever heard of
Beto.
Beto's Pizza?
No.
They make Lunchable pizza.
Nice.
They literally, like, I'm not kidding. It's cold pizza. So they make like the pizza and the sauce hot, but they just throw your fucking toppings on top.
Yeah, it's down in Pittsburgh, isn't it?
Yep.
They have that out in Pittsburgh too.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it's only in
is it
Pittsburgh.
from that guy?
It's like a weird Pittsburgh thing.
They literally
So it wouldn't
take
be that
cold
guy,
mutts.
then.
So, like he said, they make the crust and the sauce. They bake it together. Basically, like if you go to the store around here and you buy like a plain Augustine's pizza,
Mhm.
it's like
Fire,
a
by
frozen
the way.
pizza. So you just agreed. So you just fucking throw it in the oven, and they make it with the crust that rises up, and then with the sauce on it. Then all they do is they take cold shredded mozzarella or provolone or whatever it is, and they just fucking throw it on there, just like a nuke. Just nuke that bitch.
I mean, if the heat's still going, it's probably
Nope,
getting
it
cooked,
does-
right?
It doesn't work
literally-
out that way.
No,
No?
not enough heat to melt the cheese.
Do you know that like half melted cheese type
Mhm.
deal? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's
what
rough
it is.
because you bite into it and it all just fucking falls off together.
I feel like you were describing a deep dish pizza gone wrong, dude. The way that sounds.
The trick is just to take the fucking pizza home and put it in your oven,
And
And
bake
then-
it a little bit more.
and it tastes it's good pizza.
I've never
It's just-
had it, so
Yeah,
I've just seen pictures of it.
Where's it at? You're out in Pittsburgh, right?
yeah. Fuck, where is it? It's right down. It's right down by
Casino?
by your old flame.
Oh, by Dormont. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, we don't need,
like
we
on,
don't need to talk about
Dormont.
that. We don't need to talk
It's
about
like
that.
right down on I think it's 51. It's like right on the left.
Dormont has all kinds of crazy pizza places though. There's like a million of them there.
Yeah.
Listen, there's so many fucking pizza places in Pittsburgh in general. Like Southside, just in general,
Yeah.
has like, what is it, 6 or 7? That's counting fucking Domino's and shit. Because Sal's Pizza's not bad. I've ate there before. Well, I used to play at the Moose a lot when I was like actively playing music out. We would go from the Moose, walk down to Sal's, and then get pizza. And they had like these little empanadas filled with like meat and cheese and like other spices and shit. They were great. But like, there's so many pizza places just down in Pittsburgh in general.
The Smiling Moose?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hang out at that bar a
Yeah,
lot.
there's a lot of good fire like food
Yeah.
places in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Smiling Moose has good drink deals too. They have horror themed drinks like after like Freddy Krueger and like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and shit and like Evil Dead. They have one called the Boomstick. It's really good. It's a mixed drink.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah.
Have you made it down
Southside's-
to Pittsburgh a lot?
Southside's
Me?
bad though.
So I've been going to Pittsburgh on and off. I'm trying to move down that area. Just shit's coming slow. I'm trying to buy a house, and it's like
Not a good
fucking
time.
good luck, dude.
No.
Every time that you look at
Yeah,
a
you
house,
better wait. Better wait
Yeah.
a couple years.
I mean, well, at least wait till the election when they drop interest rates twice before the election.
well, I'm trying to shoot for a what's it called? A manufactured house. So it's pretty much just like a double wide trailer, and it's like I would say it's about $100,000 less.
A copy and paste home.
Like a modular?
Yeah.
It's gonna have a basement.
No, it's not gonna have a basement.
Oh.
It's pretty much like it's pretty much a double wide trailer. It's just nicer.
Okay.
It's pretty much the only difference. And every time I find one that's good, I mean, it comes out to like I've seen some that go anywhere from 80 to 115, and like if you break that down, that's not the worst in the world compared to where everybody else is asking. Their fucking HOA fees are $500 a month. So
Damn.
you're not even technically owning the land because somebody else is making you pay $500 a month to live there, and it's like, no, the housing market fucking sucks right
But
now.
those interest rates, you need to let them drop. You need to let my interest is 2.54. That's never coming back. I can't imagine people paying that.
Dude, it's at
Dude,
6.3
anything over
now.
5 is absolute robbery. That's crazy.
Yeah, literally, like I pay $600 a month and put money on my mortgage, like on my principal. That's because my mortgage is so good.
Well, interest
Yeah.
rates in general are just ridiculous. Like when I bought my car back in 2019, I was lucky enough to get a 3.5 interest rate on a car loan, mind you, for a 26,000 plus car. And like now it's ridiculous. Like I would have like a 10 point whatever plus.
Yeah, jail.
Yeah.
Throw them all in jail.
Fucking, I'd rather
over
just
5. You should. Yeah,
Yeah.
there should be criminal charges.
I agree. Like people, but no one teaches people like to look at the interest rate,
Yeah,
or
I know.
look at
It's
the amortization schedule. My God, dude.
It's at 6.3 right now,
Yeah,
currently.
which is that's if you have
That's
good credit.
better than it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
yeah,
like
that's if you
9,
have
right?
good credit.
Yeah, you
Like
have to
I
have,
had
like-
decent credit at the time and got a 3.5, like I said, but like I was working at a car dealership and I got at least somewhat of a deal on the car at the time. But like the interest rate was like the best that I've had on a loan, and any loan that I had, like credit card payment, et cetera, et cetera. Because like I had an old Navy card at one point because I worked there. They're like, hey, you have to sign up for one, get us a card for the day. So I'm like, cool, let's do it. So I got a credit card. The interest rate was 24.99% on a credit card, mind
What
you.
the fuck are you?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
24.99%. Like it was fucking crazy. So like I had that credit card, I paid it off, let it close out, and then ended up getting a Corolla, like a 2014 Corolla at one point. I had to have a cosigner because my credit wasn't good at the time. So like I still had my old Navy card for a little bit, so I had like a little bit of a jump in credit there from that. Plus, with my Corolla payment, I was only paying like $249 a month with a cosigner with good credit. I had decent credit at the time. So like when I started paying that on time for like 2 years, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking get rid of this car because like I had it for 2 years and I wanted something else. So I got my Civic out there and ended up paying like 26,000 something with my trade in, and I got the 3.5 interest rate compared to what I had because my credit went up because it boosted my credit because my dad was my cosigner. So like his credit and my credit piggybacked off each other, and it bumped me up more, and then I got the better percentage and for my loan and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, and going back to the housing thing, the percentage shit is only half of it, dude. Because every time, like, let's say I looked at a house like 6 months ago, and it has like significant fucking water damage, and you're going through it, and you're like, all right, this is maybe the price that I'm okay with paying for it, and then you finish looking at the house for the first time, and they're like, so what's your offer? We have 3 offers, and we're taking the best offer. And I'm too much of a Jew, and I'm like, dude, I can't even fathom spending that much money on a whim like that. Like, I need to like sit down and like think about it and maybe see the house one more time, not just immediately seeing the house and being like, I want this. I'm okay with buying this, and I'm okay with spending like, I don't know, probably the next 20 years of my life trying to fucking pay this off until I sell it or something like that.
It's also good too to have multiple options when looking at a house as well, because if you settle for that first one and you try to make that best offer that they're looking for, and it's not right, then you're like, fuck, I'm screwed. Like, what am I gonna do? And you're like, well, I'm gonna have to keep looking. So it's always good to have like a multiple option in that deal, like 1 to 4 options maybe, like in the general area that you're looking in. Look at the best one for your liking, make an offer on it. And if it's not right, then, offer on one of the other 4 options, like other 3 options that you have left.
And I mean, this is mean to say, but honestly, if you can wait 2 years, you can get a foreclosure, dude. Like, people are, it's not going to keep going this way. People are going to fall out. Like, people aren't going to pay their interest rate. I mean, I have a buddy, he bought a $275,000 house. His mortgage is like $2,000 a month, dude. Like, that's not doable around here. It's just not.
Here's the thing too, like taxes on properties around here. Like, my ex-father-in-law lived in Shenango Township, like, off of 65. Like, he lived on 388, like, right where 65 meets. And his taxes per year was, like, $2,000 a year. Just for, like, off of, a main, road, Route 65 that goes into Elwood. So, like, he paid, like, almost $2,000 in taxes a month just to live where he lives.
That seems high.
Yeah,
It's fucking high because he had a well.
$2,000 in taxes a month is a little wild.
Not a month, a year.
Okay,
That's
okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's $200 a month though. That's crazy.
I mean, I paid $2,700 a year in taxes.
Yeah, it's high out there for some reason. Well, he had a well at one point, and they made him tap into the city water because he wasn't grandfathered in for how far back he was from his house was from the road. So they made him tap into the city water and sewage. So he has to pay like to flush his toilet like everybody else in the city, and for water. So,
I forgot what I was about to say. Oh yeah, but I mean, every single house that you're looking at, it sucks. And now you're talking about getting into renter shit, and then you find out that you're paying for some of these houses more than the mortgage just for rent, and that's where I get annoyed. And then that's whenever I want to buy. But yeah, I do go up to Pittsburgh a lot. That's also where all the fucking open mics are at. So I try to travel up there. I got a couple of buddies up there and party, go to bars.
See, I heard there's like a comedy scene in Pittsburgh, but I've like never been to any.
it's not bad.
I need to go.
Yeah, they do open mics Monday through Friday. I haven't seen any for Saturdays, but Friday and Sunday they also do it. So they're
Where's
all over
this
the
at?
place. Oh, you could just go on Facebook and look it up.
Yeah,
Just look up-
I see some stuff sometimes on Facebook. Like somebody will share something like, "Hey, there's an open mic here for comedy acts." And
Yeah.
They
like
just
musical
let anybody
acts
get up
and-
there.
Yeah, so the way that those work is you just go and you request on Facebook. So like they'll put out like the spot, and then you just say spot, and then if you're like, it's like kind of first come first serve from what I've seen, and then you just go up. I mean, that's pretty chill to me.
You
I was gonna say, they probably make you sign up
in
and-
Pittsburgh.
He could beat on me. I'm not going up there, dude.
Why not?
I don't want that.
It's a
I don't want
drive.
that-
It
I don't
is
want
a
that heat.
drive
No, I mean,
from
I
out
drive.
here.
I just want that. I don't want that heat to the
This
stage,
guy's
you
always
know what I mean?
complaining about driving.
I hate driving.
Dude,
Pittsburgh's
from out
not
here,
that
it's a
far of
rough
a
drive.
drive.
It's not that bad.
Not that bad.
I mean, if you want to go sometime, come pick me up in Grove City. I'll park at your parents' house. You can drive me out.
To what? Pittsburgh?
If we need to do something out there, yeah.
You're
I'm off
asking
this
him.
week.
You're
Yes,
asking
I am.
him to drive
Well, yeah, because
45 minutes.
He's gonna
pick
have his
you
parents
up.
watch his kid. Anyway.
Oh, okay. If you're already coming out,
Yeah,
here.
if I'm
I
already
like
coming
driving to Pittsburgh. It's not that bad.
No, it's
I
not.
go to North Versailles all the time to hang out with my buddy. So
Oh,
like, I'll
that's-
drive.
That's actually where one of the Amazon depots is.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
literally
yeah.
right by his house.
Yeah, really?
you
yeah,
come
so
down-
I know exactly
So
where it is.
right where Amazon is, you go down the road a little bit, and you make that first right onto the road there, and he lives
Really?
down the street a little bit. Yeah,
All right, yeah, I know exactly.
my
where
buddy
it is, yeah.
Dan, he drives a fucking. It's a Volkswagen TDI, all souped up and shit. It's a Volkswagen with a diesel in it. Fucking nice.
But yeah, you said that you were working at fucking Amazon, right?
Yeah, do you want
So I want to go into it, dude.
All right, let's go.
Amazon secrets.
Let me tell you. I can
Fucking-
tell you everything about Amazon.
Yeah,
that you
dude.
need to
So
know.
like, I mean, so you already said earlier that like you couldn't. They tried to get you to take as many right turns instead of left turns as
basically
possible.
they had the routes how they're set up, and it's called a flex route.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like if you were to put something into your GPS,
Mm-hmm.
it's like that, but they have your stops.
Okay.
And what they try to do with the algorithms and like all that is they try to make it so you don't have to make any turnarounds, just to like mitigate any type of accidents and stuff, because people fuck them vans up. Like,
Oh, really?
bad. Yeah. There was a girl that went under an underpass and she didn't know like how big her
Oh shit.
her van is. Yeah, took the top off.
Oh.
And damaged
Jesus
the building.
Christ.
Actually, it was is it Oak Hill or Oakmont Golf
Oakmont.
Country Club?
Oh shit, that's a
Probably
ritzy area
Oakmont,
too,
Yeah,
dude. Oh
she
my god,
fucking took the top off.
those people must have been pissed off.
Oh yeah, they said they had to pay for it. It was like
Those
$10,000
are-
in damages.
Those are old.
Oh, she had to pay for it, or
well, our company would have had to pay
Okay,
for
okay.
it. They were trying to sue, saying because she really only hit like the beam, but they said there was like foundation damage and shit like that. So
I mean,
they're just trying to squeeze as much out of Amazon as possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say
They
they're
didn't
a
give a
big
shit
company.
about
Like, hey,
her.
they can afford this.
I think
We'll
Oakmont's the
squeeze it.
whitest place in Pittsburgh. Like they have a world-renowned bakery, and people stand online to get into the bakery.
it's good bakery.
I mean, it's pretty good. You know,
pretty fucking
the
good.
Buckeyes weren't worth the standing in line for. I got some Buckeyes there. They make these like other things, which is like a donut mixed with like strawberries, which is real good. But like the Buckeyes were subpar, and it wasn't worth staying in line.
You got to get the croissants.
Croissants.
Yeah. The croissant.
How long,
croissant.
how long did you stay in line to get it?
I don't do that.
You have someone else bring it to you.
Yes,
It's not as fresh.
it's a croissant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can reheat that shit and
Yeah.
it'll still taste good.
They probably look at you sideways in Oakmont too.
No, there's black people.
I've been to
I've
Oakmont.
actually
Like,
delivered over there.
really?
too.
I've never seen any black people in Oakmont. And I go
They're there.
a few times a year. I'm my buddy.
They
I'm his,
hide them, but
I'm
they're
his
there.
kid's godparent. I'm two of his kid's godparents, so he can get a cheaper rate on his schooling at the Catholic school. And they called me in to like be the godparent because no one else could do it. And my dad like goes to church every week and stuffs the collection plate. So I'm like, I need this letter. And they're like, yeah, Bob Kish stuffs the collection plate. Here's your letter. I shouldn't be his godparent, but I am. But anyway, he gets the better rate at the school. But yeah, I've never seen a black person in Oakmont. I've been out there to eat. I'm in the bakery.
Were you like
It's
down
right outside
like
of Fox
downtown?
Chapel.
It's not near Fox Chapel.
That's right outside of it. Yeah,
Oakmont.
it's across the river. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all that. Yeah, they're right on. What is that? Is that the Ohio or the Allegheny?
That is the Allegheny.
The
See, I'm
Allegheny.
the river knowledge here.
Jesus Christ, don't get.
I'm the river man, river gang.
Yeah.
Because you take the road to the Etna that says Etna coming from like the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On 51, right?
Yeah.
But to bring it back to the Amazon shit, how many stops would you do a day?
Depends. Like, so first, I was trash. Like,
You were a trash
I thought they were
deliverer?
gonna, I thought they
Oh
were gonna
my
fire
God.
me because I fucked up the van. Like, not bad, but
What
like,
did you do to fuck up the van?
so my route took me down like a private drive that
Fuckered that shit all up.
it's private, but they don't take care of it. So there were holes. Like, I was no way I was getting it. So it rained that day. So
Mhm.
I tried to drive in the yard to go up around. This is my first time. I didn't know the areas. So I got stuck. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get fired my first day. So I'm trying to get this shit out. But as I'm doing that, my van is turning and there's a tree there. And it gets caught up on the tree. And I bend like the step to get into the van. And I thought I was done. But he was like, nah, man, like you told me it was messed up. We appreciate it. A lot of people don't do that. So
But what kind of explanation was that? I could imagine you just being there. Listen, I'm sorry. You said this was your first week.
yeah.
Your first week, just being like, I don't drive this shit. Just please don't fucking fire
Well,
me.
to be fair, I didn't get the training I needed to. I just got thrown into
they
the
just
mix.
throw you in
well,
there?
no, I was supposed to have another like ride along, but the person called off. So he was like, yeah, man. He's like, just plug in the app and like do your best.
Wow.
They just bumper card you in there. They were
Yeah,
like, figure it
like-
out. That sucks.
Package has
Yeah.
got to be delivered, dude.
So they do it by stops. You'll see your stops and you'll see how many package you have. So like when I got really good, I was like 180 stops, like 400 packages.
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ. And I mean,
Yeah.
that's like 3 packages per, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, like it'll be like 2.5, or you'll get fucking group stops. I hate group stops. So it's one stop, but it's a group.
And like whenever they were like breaking it out, were they like, hey, you're going to cover this area today and you're going to cover this, or they just give you this?
So each DSP. So funny enough, I'm about to give you some insider information about Amazon. Amazon does not
We're gonna
deliver
take down
any
Jeff
of their any of their packages.
They don't what?
They don't deliver any of their packages.
Who does it?
It's all contract work?
It's all third-party DSPs, but all these DSPs have to follow all of Amazon's like rules.
Okay.
And on top of that, the DSPs have to rent Amazon's vans. So basically, Amazon puts all the liability on the DSPs, but pays the DSPs the driver's wages and a certain amount of percent per package delivered.
What the fuck?
But there's a shit ton of there's a lot of shit that you have to follow. Like you have like customer service stuff and all that.
So so not only are you guys delivering it, and you guys aren't even technically Amazon. I mean, you guys
No,
get paid
I'm
by
not.
Amazon.
I have an Amazon vest on, but I'm not employed by Amazon. I'm employed by mine was Regional Express.
Okay. So they weaseled their way out of that, and you guys are dealing with the customer service on top of it. So
we have driver scores, we have driver delivery feedback and all that stuff.
oh, so you guys aren't they're not calling you if a delivery is late. That's what you're saying?
No, they're calling actual Amazon.
Okay.
But if a package is fucked up, and if you ever see how much we have to pack into one van, you the driver will take the responsibility for it, even if they didn't have anything to do with that package getting fucked up. Because you got the
What?
people in the warehouse that are just throwing those shits in there.
What? So you might have as well have been do you think that the warehouse workers have it better or the drivers?
Oh, the warehouse is like a fucking sweatshop.
Oh, so
It's terrible.
for real?
At least they have to package all this shit. So it's crazy. Amazon, as much as they might be some dicks, are very, very efficient in what they do. So we basically drive in fleets. So our DSP will be at a certain slot. We drive in, we load our shit up, but we get them off of carts that are already packaged, and they're numbered packages, and they go by color, and it's first in, first out. So the first package that goes in is the first one that you're delivering with all the packages in there. They all have these things called TBA numbers that coincide with the stop you're at. So when you scan it, you know that you're actually delivering the package. But the people in the warehouse don't give a fuck about the drivers. Drivers don't give a fuck about the warehouse. We're get our shit done the way you're supposed to. They're like, why don't you come in here and work? I'm like, no, that's why I'm out here. It's crazy. But that's just the preliminaries. Now, you probably want to get into all the questions about Amazon and how crazy it is.
Yeah, I hear that they have no time for breaks. I hear that
True.
They can't everything is down to the millisecond. From what I've heard, is that if somebody doesn't put, let's say for the packaging people, if they don't get a specific amount of numbers per day, it's all of a sudden people are asking questions. I'm assuming that if you drove and it's you took a little bit longer than you were supposed to at this stop, they're gonna come up and ask questions.
It's not like that. So basically, you have a route,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have a team, and then you have a team of all-stars, and you have a team of dickheads. So there's the people of the all-stars. They give them the harder routes, and they usually deliver faster and get done early. And then what you get is something called a rescue. So sometimes you have to go help someone else who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. But my DSP was pretty good because a lot of us were decent. But as long as you're ahead of schedule, then you're good.
Okay.
So there were times when I'd get done, my shift would be 10 to 8:30, and I would get done at either 5:30 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how everybody else is delivering, you go and help them, or you can come back and get off early. So a lot of us figured out
how to swindle the system, how to get around it.
Yeah, well, they're gonna pay us regardless. Like our DSP was cool. Like shout out Regional Express. They were actually a good DSP. They weren't scumbags. Like they helped me out a lot. But basically we'd fuck around, like, you know, maybe take this stop a little longer or enjoy yourself, like sit in the car, drink something, eat something. Like you had time if you were good. Now, if you're just a regular person, no, you don't have fucking time to do anything.
Especially if you're like figuring it out. So
nobody has time to leave their route to just go to the bathroom, which brings me to my story of, I'm not proud of any of this, but when I first started Amazon, I heard about people pissing in fucking bottles and all that stuff. I was like, I'll never do that. Like, I'm a grown ass man. I'm not fucking pissing in a bottle.
Dude, I heard they were taking shits in bags.
Well, there's a story I gotta tell you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So the first time I pissed in a van was during, I think, Amazon week.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just fucking swamped. And I wasn't that new, so like, I was like, fuck it. I'm not anywhere close because I left my route. Because like I would be in, I don't know if you know Pittsburgh. I'd be in like Forest Hills and stuff like that back in their like suburbs. So there's really like no easy way to get out of there, get back within a time frame where you're gonna get your shit done.
Yeah.
So I had to piss outside, and then it gets to the point where, you know, piss in a bottle because there's nowhere to piss outside. And then there was
they
one
just slowly
time
break you down. Is that what?
Yeah, slowly break you down. But the shitty part is that people are fucked up. Like if you piss in a bottle, like because we don't all have an assigned van.
Mm-hmm.
So there's times people would like get in their van and there'd be a fucking piss bottle in there, man. It's crazy. It's fucked up. But that's where I drew the line. Like I'd always make sure my piss bottles are ready to go and throw them in the fucking dumpster.
Yeah, well, because you're considerate.
Yeah, I'm considerate.
Yeah, I thought that you were about to go down on a whole shit in the bag.
This is where I was not a considerate human being.
On that note, he was not considerate.
I was considerate. So we're in peak season for Amazon during Christmas. So everybody's swamped. We have like fucking 400 packages. Everybody's just trying to get their shit done. And like, it's just a fucking crazy time. I was in part of Pittsburgh. I don't know if I should name this part of Pittsburgh because the people that live there find out.
I don't know. If you do, we could edit it out.
Yeah, they might come out. I think I was in not Dormont. What is that over there? And I'd take shit.
I had to take a number 2.
And I looked, and there was nothing close enough. It was like a 20-minute drive. So it would take me 20 minutes out, 20 minutes to get back. It's like almost an hour. And I'm already behind on my packages. So I went to Sheetz early that day, got my stuff, you know, my drinks, some snacks. I had to take that Sheetz bag, went to the back of the van, and I did a little pop squat in the back. And when I tell you, so they tell you whenever you sit on the toilet, you're not actually pooping the way you're supposed to because it doesn't open up your colon.
That's why they make the squatty potty. You gotta have your
this
legs
is
at a
exactly
certain-
what happened. So like I take a dump like in there, and it was crazy because I had to like almost step into the bag like I was putting on like underwear.
Oh my god!
Oh Lord!
Bend down and like take a dump. And it came out pretty like nice and easy. And when I looked down, it was literally the biggest dump I've ever taken in my life.
He looked down and said,
I'm
"Holy
not kidding
shit!"
you. It was a log. It was. I was kind of impressed with myself.
Yeah.
So I took a Snapchat and I sent it to all my friends. Like, this is what the job has me doing because I couldn't do anything. You know, they all chastised me. Said, "What the fuck? Like, you're almost touching 30. Why are you shitting in a van?" I was like, "Talk to Amazon."
You sent a thirst trap.
Privacy reasons.
Shit to the Snapchat world, like. Because you're proud of it.
I don't
you're
even
proud
know
of
if
it.
there's anything to like. This would probably be the most comparable to this bottle over here.
It was
like,
that big.
It was that.
It was like
Shit was thick.
yeah. It was like
It was dummy
Fuck you
thick.
been eating?
I don't even know I was eating that time.
Jesus Christ!
But it was pretty a big circumference too. But it came out like very
Lot of-
smooth.
lot of
yeah,
fiber.
regular.
Like I didn't even realize how big it was. Now we're getting to the worst part of this.
Oh
so
shit!
I can't go anywhere. There's no trash cans, and
Oh, you had it inside the dude. It
I
was
had it in the
reeking.
van, and I'm just like, I can't do this.
It got into the cloth.
I was
dude.
waiting for him to
Those
say
seats
he
were
launched
smelling
it
like
out
shit.
the fucking door.
Oh my god!
So, if you know anything about Amazon, their fucking algorithms are fucked up. So you sometimes end up on the same street you're on. So I ended up on the same street I actually took a shit.
Shit.
Okay.
So you did a full circle?
Danger.
Yeah, just delivering.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cold outside. I was like, so I took the bag with probably the biggest shit I've ever taken in my life.
Thumper
and I
dump.
sat it on the road, like outside of the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's gonna be cold tonight, so it's gonna freeze. So like someone's just gonna see it, like throw it up. Well, it was that day in like I think it was like December, it was like 60 degrees. And I was
You got blessed with the warmest day of the fucking year in December of all months. It's gonna be 62.
I kid you not. I was sitting in my room and I just started busting out laughing because I'm just thinking of like this Pittsburgher walking down the sidewalk and their dog's just sniffing around. And they go and they're like, oh, someone forgot their doggy bag. I'll be a good person and just like throw it away.
That's not dog shit. That's human shit. Fuck.
And they just pick this thing up and it's a fucking log.
Fucking
That shit had weight to it.
it was a bicep-sized turd just in a fucking bag. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
man, you could fucking curl this thing. And I was just
the weight
thinking
of a
in my
small
head,
child.
probably some 56-year-old retired person, just like, oh, just being a nice person. It's just,
I found a bag of shit today on my walk with the dog.
And it was in a sheets bag. I mean, that's honestly the
Pretty sheety
the very
of you.
first thing that I would think if I saw a sheets bag in the street. I'm like, it's probably filled with shit. So.
Dude, you should get on Facebook to like the city's page because like when I was hanging out with that chick in Dormont, they had like a Dormont Connects page and they got complaints and shit like that. There's probably some old lady on the Facebook page bitching about your shit in the
There's
bag.
a human shit in a bag and a
like-
sheets guy on the
and then
side of the road.
And then you could like the post and shit
There's
like
a
that.
trail
my
to the
God.
crime
You can
somewhere.
heart react and be like, man, I love this
Yeah.
post.
I can't believe someone would shit in a bag and leave it here.
what a
Start
fucking
posting.
terrible
real
human
shitty of
being.
them
What
to
a
do.
fucking degenerate. Do something like
Damn
What is the world coming
degens.
to?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not your fault. That's fucking Jeff Bezos stealing money.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
God
all
damn
in
it,
all,
Jeff Bezos.
if you're doing like Amazon for like a part-time job just to make some extra money, it's not bad. I mean, it sucks. It fucking sucks. But like when it's good, it's good. But when it's bad, it's fucking bad.
Yeah.
So there were no trash cans around this road? You just
No,
happened
I
to-
was
You could just
in-
throw it into
He was in a
like
neighborhood
somebody
in
else's.
Dormont.
well, first of all, it doesn't look good if your Amazon driver is walking around with a bag of shit and
Yeah.
just looking to put it in your trash.
The smelliest of all smells.
I feel like they don't know it's just a bag of trash. You're just throwing trash out.
What if
Oh,
it was-
this is the crazy thing.
It was
is
cold and there was steam coming off of it. It's shit. Come on.
So in our Amazon vans, we are monitored at all times. So like they know our speed and we have
Yep.
cameras.
It's all in the OBD port.
Yeah, they're all sitting there.
Tell
Well,
us what the
I
porta
knew
potty
the, I
company
knew
I
the
worked for.
mechanic that worked on all the vans, so I know how to disable them.
Just
I
unplug
won't
it.
say that because I don't want to put
Yeah, we'll
Jeffrey in a
cut it
spot. But
Jeff.
there's basically like a little
don't know, we need to figure out
compartment
the
down
time.
at the bottom. Anybody who drives a Amazon van will know what I'm talking about. You unscrew that, they have a little fucking like chip
Cable.
type thing.
Yeah, there's
Yep,
a cable.
bah, just take it right out.
So I work
And then
for
they don't know where you're at. Or like they can't
They
see
can't
you.
see you.
They won't be able to
they'll
monitor
know where
you.
I'm at because I'm still on GPS. But we have it's a Netrodyne system. So
Mm-hmm.
if I like look away from the road, docks me on my driver's score.
Really?
If I like vape or if I'm drinking pop or if I touch my phone, like yeah,
They
it's
got, they got
watching you the whole
sensors in
time.
them. Yeah.
I mean, I
That
thought we
link up
lived
with
in
that.
America, son.
Yeah,
So there's a porta potty company I worked for at one point. They actually had things that plugged into the OBD ports of the trucks, and that's how they made your routes based on however many people that rented a porta potty from them. They had a route set up, and they had it all marked on a Google Maps setup. So they could go in the computer. The lady would make the routes for everybody every day. Obviously, you'd go from the farthest and then come back to the closest. And if you had to stop somewhere in between for somebody else, just in case, something happened and a toilet got blown over or whatever,
Mhm.
and they had to clean it from, bottom to top again and refill it with shit and suck it all out again, they would see how far away they were and how fast they were going, where they were exactly at that moment in time with the software on the computer. And they could tell how fast you were going at a certain time, if you went through any toll booths, everything. Like they can monitor it all by the
Yeah,
OBD ports.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks. I mean, I would.
They're
I
going to
would-
be like, because they called somebody the one time, like, hey, why are you here when you're supposed to be here? I'm like, oh, I hit that on the way down. They're like, well, why didn't you do it from reverse to forward?
Mhm.
And like, they're like, hey, we have this specifically timed out for you. that like you're supposed to do it in this amount of time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like that. I mean, be honest, we're all degenerates at Amazon. Like,
I'm a
there's
big
people,
fucking degen myself.
there's
too.
people fucking smoking cigarettes, smoking blunts in the vans, like all
believe
that
it.
shit.
So
like,
that's why you guys have to like turn shit off. But I mean, it's crazy that
well,
they're
no,
fucking
we don't
docking
turn
you.
shit off. I mean, they don't even, dude.
They
I
don't
don't even
check
think
it.
they don't really check it. Actually, they're not recording you unless something
Unless something happens.
Something major is going on.
major is going on.
Like a
so,
traffic violation, they can monitor by GPS. Like if you're speeding and it kicks on, like, hey, they're doing this right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that's happening in those vans. Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy. So one day, this one kid was quitting, and they only gave him the same van because like he lived like a raccoon.
Yeah.
My supervisor would say. So I get in there, and it smells like fucking piss, like urine.
I
Like,
hear there's some FedEx vans that smell like piss, like heavily.
Yeah, and I'm like, you had to have pissed in the van. There's no way that like it smells like this, but like it was the most disgusting. Like there was a hole like in the van where like they have like styrofoam, basically what you're stepping on when you're getting in and out of these vans. It's basically the bottom of the van, some like styrofoam shit, and like a plastic topping. And I don't know how he
That
wrote
is
it
how
that.
vehicles are. Like any vehicle, like my
Yeah.
car, if I take the bumper cover, because the outer part is not considered the bumper, it's the bumper cover. It's what covers the metal portion of the car that is the bumper, and they put styrofoam in there in case you get rear-ended, and you're not getting rear-ended like super hard, and it'll take the impact. But if you're getting hit super hard, it's bending that metal,
Yeah.
and they consider your car totaled at that point. So like it's literally just like he said, it's your plastic piece, styrofoam, and there's metal underneath it.
Yeah. So that was all torn up. But I went to my supervisor and I was like, don't ever put me in a van. It was 95 degrees that day.
Shit.
So like it just smelled like
it was a
shit.
scorcher.
Yeah. It smelled like piss the whole time.
Hot piss.
I'm hopping in and out of vans and the first thing, and those fucking AC systems don't work well. So
Oh, that's probably like not.
yeah, so
They
as soon
don't
as I
need
walk
to
in,
have
it's
them.
It's like an
90 degrees
80s car with the fucking
yeah,
AC that
so I'm just
doesn't
smelling
work.
piss and delivering packages.
And you're in Pittsburgh, so you can't get a lot of
Fermented
like
piss.
air through, so you're not driving too far. Can't get on the interstate.
No.
Like if you're delivering out here, you can get like on freeway or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm just in like suburban areas. Just
Yeah.
fucking,
That dude, I know that there's monsters like me out there, and whenever I try to piss in a bottle, I would say 25% of it doesn't fucking go in.
you gotta
dude.
put it on the hole. Like you
Listen.
put it on
Yeah,
the
but
hole.
then like you're driving and you hit a bump and then you get some on your hand. And you're like, oh god, dude, I hate pissing in bottles. dude.
The amount of times I've driven down like 422 going towards Butler and shit, the bottles of piss that I see on the side of the road is ridiculous. Or going on 79, there's just fucking
trucker jugs is what they call 'em,
trucker
right?
jugs, truck
Yeah.
jugs.
Yeah.
There's like 2-liter bottles almost of fucking piss filled on the side
Yeah.
of the road, like gallons of piss.
John is
Why were you pissing in a bottle? Like I don't like you're not a truck driver.
What if you're on a road
Man
trip?
pissed in a bottle at least once.
Pissing in a bottle is like a new experience.
But
What if
he's
it's like a
doing it
kink
like all
for
the
him?
time.
Come on,
He's saying
man.
like
Kink shame. Don't kink shame here. What if it's a kink for him?
I mean, I'm 40.
It's a voyeurism
42.
thing.
I don't think I've ever pissed in a bottle.
I have.
I've been on like the times that I have pissed in a bottle was whenever I was in the military and like we couldn't stop because we're in the vehicles all the time. And then the other time was like I was coming out here one time and I just came back from like the desert out in 29 Palms. And like you're just chugging so much water while you're out there that like you don't realize how much you're sweating away. So whenever I got out of the desert, I
What's that
was
have to do with
just
piss,
chugging
though?
water and I was taking a piss every hour because I'm chugging so much water. So it was just going straight through me because I'm not sweating it all out. And the
Sweating
entire
those
like I
demons
stopped once you stop like in a 12-hour trip 3 times every hour, you're like, all right, I'm just pissing in bottles. And it was the whole time, like I said, I'm fucking. You hit a bump and it fucking shakes and you get a little piss on your hands, dude.
What's the record
Sorry,
amount
I'm
of
just
bottles
piss
you
hands
pissed
here.
in?
Me, I mean, probably in that trip I did 2 at a time. And then like I felt like such a piece of shit whenever I was throwing it out at the gas stations. I'm like making sure that
Right in the
nobody's
trash
looking
can,
at
like,
me.
sorry, workers, there's a bottle of piss
Some
here.
minimum wage workers.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm like,
$12 an hour at Sheets picking up piss out of a trash can.
I'm sitting there.
Good
I'm
old
like,
piss guy stopped here
That's how
again.
revolutions are made.
yeah, I'm sitting there. I'm like, nobody's looking. Nobody's doing their gas. Just do.
I'll
trying
be
to get
dipped in
that
shit
shit
and
out.
rolled in
Like
butter.
that would send me off the deep end. I would start a cult or something. If I'm $12
If you found
an
somebody's-
hour,
found
Picking
somebody's
up
piss
bottles
in a
of
trash
piss.
can.
piss at Sheets.
Just start the revolution. I've had to touch too much piss today.
Yeah.
Great, I touched somebody else's piss again. Awesome.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I mean,
That's so disturbing. This whole thing, like everybody peeing in bottles.
You've never peed in a bottle. Get
You've
out
never
of here.
peed in a bottle, really?
I've never
What
peed in
the
a bottle.
fuck? You've never lived until you peed into a bottle.
I guess I haven't lived. I don't know. 42 years I haven't lived.
You better
when I was in
fucking-
high
you got
school,
so
though, my
much left.
buddy, we were at a movie, and he had to pee, and he didn't want to ruin the movie, so he pissed in like his cup. And I only remember this because like the girl I was dating at the time, he kicked his cup over, spilled over his shoes, and she was pretty irritated about that. She was pretty pissed off. But like that's the only pissing in a bottle or cup story I have that I can remember, and that was like '97.
So you have done it.
That's
No,
forever
my buddy,
ago.
I didn't piss in the bottle or the cup. This was a cup. It was like a movie theater.
1997, before Limp Bizkit got big.
Yeah.
Wait, he pissed in the cup in the movie theater?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, that's
while
why.
watching.
Why
He
would you just
wasn't
fucking
gonna
go to
leave.
the fucking bathroom?
He didn't want to miss the movie.
Oh, true. Understandable.
I think it was
Yeah,
at the
that's not
Guthrie,
understandable.
actually.
What the fuck am I
The
saying?
Guthrie.
Yeah, I think it was at the
Where am I
Guthrie.
There's a
both?
lot of
Aw.
people that have been finger
mean,
banged in that.
Dude, in
place.
that, yeah,
That
dude,
doesn't surprise me
that-
at
That
all.
was the
Bang,
place. Yeah,
bang,
that was the
into my
place to
life.
take girls back in the day to like get your shit off.
Let me dry rub you inside the movie theater.
Dude,
My
that
favorite
fucking
pastime.
bathroom is the worst fucking bathroom in the world. First off, they have the urinals that touch the floor. Already
No,
a
just piss all over. you.
recipe for disaster. You just get piss boots for the rest of the day.
Piss boots.
Fucking, I hate that bathroom so much.
Pissy time here.
But I mean, I guess not a lot of people are gonna know Grove City
Yeah,
fucking Guthrie.
yeah, up on the balcony, man. That's where you went.
I think they redid it though, right? It's not
did.
the same.
dude,
Yeah.
Oh, if they
It's
would have had,
nice.
if they would have had
Bathroom's
those
the same, though.
recliner seats up there, a lot of people would have got pregnant in middle
Oh
school.
my lord.
back in the day.
Oh my
Fuck.
lord.
Grove City wouldn't like that.
No,
Nope.
They would frown upon that. Pregnancies in the Guthrie.
They completely regutted it and
Hey,
like
baby,
they
how'd
have
you get
like
pregnant,
retro
like Guthrie?
fucking they have retro fucking like vans in there. It looks phenomenal. They have like old Coca-Cola, like it looks nice.
yeah, there's
And
some
then-
rich dude that like is like doing it just for fun.
Yeah, he's doing a comedy shit out there actually. I've seen
I
a
did
comedy
see
show
that.
or two. But anyways, bathroom's the same. The worst fucking part of the whole movie theater, the bathroom, still sucks.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard women's bathrooms are so much worse than men's.
That is very true.
Can't tell you.
I can tell you. I can tell you from a personal experience when I worked at Old Navy in the outlets. So, I worked a back-to-back shift, and I worked like a 10 to 6, and then I worked an 8 to like 10 in the morning, and I just went in and cleaned the store. And the next day, like dust mopped, did the bathrooms or whatever. So I went into the women's bathroom. I said, something smells a little odd in here. And there was a lady the day before. I was like, oh man, I can't find the bathroom. She shit her pants. Okay. We had tampon boxes in the women's bathroom. She took her shitty underwear and put them in the tampon box.
man.
And guess who didn't have to touch them? This guy right here. It was a
What, I mean-
manager's duty. They had to touch it because it was hazmat. And they had like a special routine they had to do to take the shitty underwear out of the bag and fucking throw it in the trash.
Did you go to Grove City too?
No.
No. Where did you go?
Newcastle.
Newcastle. I feel like in this area, it's like a rite of passage to work at the outlet.
I
mall.
worked at the outlets as my first job.
Yeah,
That was like
that's
I
like-
started there in like 2010. I worked there until 2016 and then started working at a Honda dealership in town.
Yeah, so we had a guy at my old job, worked at Van Heusen. So our manager was sitting in the back doing like manager shit, and it was a slow day. So you have a manager and you have a sales associate, and this sales associate, it's kind of like Lieutenant Dan I was talking about. He's like,
Lieutenant Dan.
yeah,
Ain't got no legs.
he's in the military now. He like calls me randomly. He's like, dude, like I miss you. You're the best manager ever. I was a dickhead to him because he was a dickhead. So anyway, there was a guy and he was like, hey, can I have a bag? Like I got to use the bathroom really bad. I don't think I'm going to make it. So the kid, not thinking, gives him the fucking bag.
What a
but
dummy.
this guy has such explosive diarrhea
Oh, fuck.
that it comes out on our carpet
Like he just went to a
going
Mexican
into the
buffet.
dressing room. He goes into the dressing room. He does his thing. My manager comes out. And he's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, I think we have a situation. He's like, what? And he tells him the story. He goes, shit everywhere. Like, and then he goes up to the guy who's just shopping, mind you.
With shitty
He's
pants.
just going.
After he shit his pants.
just like regularly
Draws and
shopping.
all.
So wait, hold on.
And my manager's like, yo, you need
Mike's
to
like,
leave.
wait, hold up.
He's like, what do you mean? He's like, you need to leave. He's like, listen, I'm not on any drugs. I didn't do anything. I just had an issue. And he's like, I don't care. You need to get the hell out of my store. You shit on it. Like,
Hey, you shit on the store, man. Don't shit on our store.
I can
It's great here.
They're
fucking
just, like,
great.
following the trail back to the guy like a fucking crime
well, it
scene.
wasn't a trail, but he was like
Like he left
shopping on our
fucking
store. Like
breadcrumbs
he
of
didn't
shit.
just shit all over the dressing room. In the ladies' dressing room.
blew
Oh,
shit
no,
on
you
the
said it was
ladies'
like leaving
dressing
a
room.
trail because you had it.
No,
in
it
the back.
did going in. And then I think, what did he use? I think he used
Oh fuck.
I don't know what he used to wipe, to be honest with you.
Ugh.
But the audacity to keep shopping, like he was gonna get
Like
his
nothing
clothes
ever happened.
and go and buy them,
Mhm.
and it's not like he said anything to anybody either.
He's one of those guys from Canada, right? Indian
No, I think
Indian
he was
guys.
like one of those like old
Because like
American
Canadians.
dudes.
a lot of Indians will do shit like that, and they'll smell up and do dirty things in the changing rooms. In my outlet experience too.
Indians
So another-
specifically.
Well,
why?
I don't know. The people that like from Canada, they're Indians.
I have some things I can say about
You-
them.
I
you and
also
I- you-
I
we're on the
also
same
can
react?
too.
Yeah, they
was a
have
certain
a
sit-
certain smell
they do.
Yes.
because they would for whatever reason they don't believe in deodorant.
Bathing every day.
It's curry. Are you aware of that?
It smell well, but no. I actually talked to someone about it. It's they don't bathe. They use this like powder shit or something.
It's like baby powder. They just fucking
Like,
baby
but
powder
it like
themselves.
they smell like. You ever smelled someone that smells salty?
Mhm.
Salty and like bo.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Hard BO.
I've heard. I wouldn't go as far as saying they don't shower or that they shower funny,
I think some do.
but
Some do.
No, I've heard that it's like depending on their spices. Like I heard that like curry, if you eat a lot of like spicy shit, that it eventually just starts seeping through skin.
Yeah, it comes
And
through your
that's,
pores.
that's what causes a lot of like
The smell.
the stereotype the Indian smell.
Well, one time at Old Navy, we had shoplifters, and they were of the Indian variety, and one of them pissed in the boys' department in the corner and then threw clothes on it and then took other clothes and shoplifted them and shoved clothes in his pants as well after he just pissed in the corner on camera.
I'll
was
tell
wild.
you this: there's obviously a stereotype about like black people shoplifting and like the Newcastle-y looking like black people. Like you know who's gonna.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
I know who's gonna steal. Like there's
knows.
There's like a tint to them. I don't know how to explain
A special.
A darker.
it. Have you
hue?
seen the Proud Family?
No.
You never seen the Gross Sisters? They always had like a tint to them. Like it was like it was supposed to them being ashy, but like
I like
that's
that.
what like shoplifters at the mall. I knew you were gonna shoplift.
Yeah.
Like Ashy Larry.
Yeah, like Ashley.
You know what's
Larry.
great- you know
But the people that really do steal a lot, because you never even think, are the Indians.
Yep.
And they try all the clothes on. They smell them all up. So like they can steal because you don't want to go near them. You're like, okay.
Yeah, I have to. We call
Fine.
them. We had to damage it out because
Yep.
they just.
Yeah,
it's just a smell.
that's how it was at Old Navy too. Like people would return stuff and it would just smell a certain
Yep.
way, and we would have to damage it and then get more product from the distributor.
I mean, you guys grew up in this area. There's the place called the Outlets. I mean, everybody's worked there at some
We're
point.
literally
That's
just
what we're
we're
talking
just
about,
talking
bro. We're
about that,
literally
dummy.
all
We're
of us
deep in
here.
this conversation.
Okay, I didn't realize that we
Oh
were
my
bringing
God.
up
It's,
specifically about
it's
the
not
outlets.
Grove City. It's London.
But dude, they
London, Pennsylvania.
they also like barter. I've never seen
Oh,
that
yeah.
before anywhere other than there, where they try to barter with you on prices.
too much.
Yeah,
Too much. No, listen.
it's like the price tag is right here, dude.
I had
Like,
a
can't
fucking-
cut it with you.
I had a person one time. They're like, "Oh, do I get an extra discount?" I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Cause I'm Canadian." I'm like, "Yeah, I can tell you're Canadian." I was like, "But you can only use the outlet."
A. That's what they
Yeah,
say.
yeah. I'm like, "You guys say A."
I can
Like,
tell you're fucking Canadian.
yeah, I can fucking tell by your accent. And I was like, I watch a lot of hockey, and there's a lot of announcers.
They
that are
talk
fucking
like
Canadian.
they have like something in their mouth. I don't know
Yeah,
how to
like-
explain it.
There's like, it sounds like they have like mush mouth sometimes.
Yeah.
It's wild. But they were like, "Oh, can I get an extra discount?" I'm like, "You got the mall booklet. You get 15% off of $75 or more, and that's all you get." I was like, nothing more, nothing less.
And the discount is they don't have to pay the taxes they pay in Canada.
Exactly.
It's
Well,
like, it's like
no.
40%.
they do have to check them in at the border, and
See,
they have to
and
pay a
that's
border
why you
tax.
see them all like getting rid of all the boxes and shit in the
Yep.
parking lots. Is because they'll come down with nothing.
Yeah,
And then they'll act like all that shit is actually their like
Canada.
belongings, so they
Oh,
don't have to
wow.
pay taxes on it
yeah.
because they
That's
can only
wild.
declare up to like 700 before they have to pay taxes on
Well,
it.
here's the thing
Dude,
too. Like, if you look in the booklet, it tells you how much you're allowed to claim at the border. Like, if you look at if I looked online too the one day, and it was like you can only claim this much money before you're taxed. Like, they'll come down here and get cigarettes because they're cheaper. They'll come down here for the clothing because there's no tax on them because it's Pennsylvania because it's a necessity, and they'll go, like he said, get rid of all the boxes, and they'll claim it as their own stuff, like they came
Mhm.
here with.
But yeah, I got a crazy ass story about the outlets. I used to work at the chocolate factory. There's like 3 fucking chocolate factories. I'm just gonna leave it up in the air which one I was at. But I was working
One
at a
of
chocolate
them.
factory, and like we were not doing stuff according to code. So like we were letting like peanuts.
You were
All right, yeah, we'll cut that out. I mean,
You've
whatever.
been
It doesn't
found out,
fucking matter.
motherfucker.
It's a small ass company. Whatever. If they get
You're a
mad at me, they
small
get
ass
mad at me.
company.
Because
Yeah,
it
I
wasn't
worked
the
there.
chocolate factory. Because they have some upstanding citizens working there. But
Yeah.
I know when you work at the outlets and all, you know where the degenerates are and like where like the people you can like almost trade shit with.
Yes.
But yeah, those dudes. I worked there whenever I was like very young. It was like one of my first jobs, and dude, they like we would not do anything according to like code. So like we were having like peanut butter inside of chocolate. I mean, this is whenever they first opened up. So they were literally fucking cooking chocolate in the back on Bunsen burners to try and get this shit
Fucking
going.
Bunsen burners.
But you're not supposed to mix peanut butter with
This is
normal
a
fucking
science
chocolate.
lab?
So like we had signs. I mean, like we kind of had signs out on the floor, like where they would sell this stuff and be like, "Hey, like we can't. These are contaminated with peanut butter. You can't have it." And this little kid with their mom comes in one time, and she's like, and we gave away free samples. So the mother was like, "We'd like every free sample possible."
Oh.
And then she's like,
There's nuts in there.
she's like, "I want the peanut butter," and the girl goes, "I'm allergic to peanut butter. I can't
Nut
have it."
butter.
And then we were like, "No, you can't have any of this then." And then she's like, No, it's free. Give it to me. And we're going to give it to her. And we're like, "Please, we don't want to get sued. We're not selling anything to you at this point." Like, it had to get to the point where we just refused to sell it to this lady because she was going to give it to this child.
You
and
go to
die.
anaphylactic shock and die.
Yeah.
You were almost responsible for a child killing.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was not fucking around. I mean, I wasn't the guy. I was the guy behind making the fucking chocolate bullshit. I was like a little Oompa Loompa.
Well, I was gonna say
Or
too,
fudge
like if you go
backer.
to restaurants nowadays, they have a little like asterisk at the bottom of the menu, like, "Hey, this is cooked with peanuts. If you have a peanut allergy, don't get this." Like, there are some places in town that won't use regular vegetable oil in their fryers, and they use peanut oil. And there's a lot of people that have like a peanut allergy, and like they can't get French fries from certain restaurants because they use peanut oil. Or like if it touches the peanut oil and they get like a little bit in their system, like you said, anaphylactic shock, they're done.
Crazy story about because I knew one of the managers that worked there. She was my homegirl. I don't know if you know her. So you guys were notorious for not getting paid when you were supposed to get paid.
That's why I left.
Yeah. So she was a manager, and she kind of felt like that she had loyalty to the company. So she hadn't gotten paid. So she was like, "You know what?
Exactly what happens, dude.
Do you want to go into steal all their fudge?" So
Fudge,
because
yeah.
she had a key. So we went in there. This was probably like we just came back from the bar drunk. So I'm gonna preface this with like, if I was sober, I probably wouldn't have done this.
You might have.
Maybe.
We might have to
So
cut out
we
the
went in
names.
there, and you guys used to have the fudge in those white boxes that were like not even like marked or anything. And we went in there and we took like 10, 15 each. Because she hadn't been paid. She'd worked like 60 hours in a week, and she hadn't been paid like the money that she was owed.
How did they get away with that though?
Dude,
like,
it's wild.
Their manager was a wild boy.
It's owned by one guy that's like very sleazy, and like I kind of have a story like that where me and somebody, we were making Oreos, like chocolate covered Oreos, and we ate the entire fucking thing by the end of the day. So we just ate everything that we did for the entire day. But yeah, dude, this manager who was like, I mean, there's no difference between a manager and an employee there. They try to put it on you like, "Oh, you're doing all this extra shit," and they're
I believe
abusing you.
That's how it was at Old Navy. They were like, "Hey, can you be in charge of people?" I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm not fucking responsible enough."
This one guy who was like a general manager of the area, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, I haven't been paid like the last 3 months." And I was like, "You should probably like talk about that. Like, how much are you out?"
Call
He's like,
HR.
He's like, "I'm out like $3,000. Like, I'm about to lose my house," and like he ended up quitting and suing, and I guess it failed because the place is still running. And if you know of it, that means that whenever it just opened up and I was there, that means that it's a constant problem, which is wild.
Yeah, that guy was a sleazeball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna say his name, but yeah, he just like owned a
Eradicate
company
this.
out in Pittsburgh, and then that one went down, and then he had.
I'm not going to say any names either, but they would just take the money out of the...
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
just
know
like,
that.
I'm getting paid somehow or some
That
way.
makes sense.
What?
That makes sense.
this shit's crazy.
Yeah, dude,
Dude,
it was.
there's a
I was
lot of
also,
crazy shit.
It was
at
an
that point,
inside
I wasn't also
job.
being paid with tax stuff either. At that point in time,
Yeah.
it was everything. Like I was literally like, I want to say 17 or 18. I just walked up to the place and I was like, "Can I like get a job here?" And they were like, here's an apron if you want to start right now. We need people. And like that's how that place was.
We need you this bad.
Yeah, that was a shitty place. Where'd you work at?
What?
Where'd you work at the outlets?
I worked at two. I worked at Famous Footwear first as a manager, and then Van Heusen. So that's why it's crazy to do shit in our thing, because it's like we have like dress clothes, and like people go in there like upstanding citizens going here to get like nice dress clothes and shit like that, and it's just guy just like fucking shits all over the place.
They just shit everywhere,
and we're not allowed to touch it, like
that,
because it's a hazmat problem.
It has to be a manager thing.
Not even a manager. We have to call in. We have to call in an actual team, hire a team, to clean up the shit.
They got to disinfect the area
and all of that stuff.
Because did you know if you throw human shit at somebody, it's considered biological warfare?
Yeah, I mean that's really fucking put it. If you sneeze on somebody, it's called biological warfare.
Yeah, but like it was the same thing at Old Navy. Like the managers had to hire up clarification, so they could fucking just they had to handle the shit. There were special like gloves.
Shit handlers, yeah.
Yeah, there were shit handlers, and they were the managers. Dude. But like, there was a special compartment in the manager's office, and they had to get these special gloves to handle the shit. So like the time I found the shitty underwear from the customer, they had to go in there with the special gloves and put it in a bag, and it had to be shipped down a special way because it was human shit. It's biological warfare. Mm-hmm. So like.
What's up, John? You're
I'm just confused. Perplexed by all this like shitting and stuff like that.
Listen, there's a lot of wild stuff that happens in retail settings.
I worked at the outlets myself. I also have 2 outlet jobs. I was
Old Navy had a lot of wild customers.
I was at the Gap and I ran the fitting room, which was awesome. And that was a Reebok. Like
I guess Old Navy's fitting room compared to Gap, since it's the same company, is pretty shitty. As I would say,
I'm convinced that if you work in retail, you just start to see the worst in humanity.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah,
I worked at the gas station Sheets, and I mean nothing wrong with Sheets, but
Sheets is great.
Dude, we had to clean the bathrooms. That was like part of our job there, and this one dude, like this old guy, was there, and like you could tell he was having stomach problems. He was like rushing to the bathroom. And this kid comes out of the bathroom like 10 minutes later, and he's like, and he just comes up to me because I'm working the register, and he's like, "Hey, somebody just MC hammered all over that fucking bathroom." And like,
oh my god!
We have like little headphones, and I'm like, "Well, good thing I'm working the fucking register." And I was like, apparently there's shit all over the bathroom. So this one girl, she's like, "Please don't make me do this." I'm like, "I'm working register. I don't know what to fucking tell you." And so like you have these earbuds. And, like, I'm working with people on the register, and then you just hear in my earbud, and she's like, "It's everywhere. It's like, apparently the dude just, like, I'm assuming just took off his pants and just shat. And just, like, in a cone around the toilet, dude."
Have you ever seen that meme? There's, like, people in gas stations, bathrooms, and it's a person, like, above the toilet with their hands, and they're just pissing and shitting all over the place. Yeah, dude, that's, like, how people are in like, retail just retail space. Like, I'm not gonna name any names, but when I worked at Famous Footwear, we were connected to the food court, so we would get our trucks in the same bay as the food court trucks. Mm-hmm. So one day I was going out there to dispose of boxes. They had those box crushers. You've probably seen them before. Going back there, and a certain restaurant's truck pulled up. And they opened it, and I tell you, the smell that came out of that place, out of that truck, and I looked in there, and there's just like chicken with the juice like rolling down, and and heads of lettuce rolling on the truck floor and everything. I will say this, that company actually got in trouble for that not too long ago because of their trucks, and it like not being like
this is just food. Like there's nothing. So was it a food delivery place? It was. They had all this shit.
Well, it was a restaurant that got these trucks in, and I guess the trucking company was actually owned or being used by that company, and they weren't following like the proper shit for food being transported back and forth. And a couple of their restaurants that got caught for it. It was in the paper. Probably guess what type of restaurant it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's how all those places are.
Yeah.
Especially that's why like whenever you hear about a restaurant that's like shopping local, that's where you want to fucking go because they don't have shit like that.
I still ate there though.
Yeah, I don't care. I
said that they made some fire bourbon chicken,
but that's also a thing where if you are going to a place and there's a real chance where you might get like food poisoning from it, that is going to be the most banging food that you've ever had in your entire life.
I don't care. Like, I don't want to see an expose on some place I like. Like, on the news, and I look at this undercover, so I'm like, shut up. Or a hotel, I'm like, I like that hotel. I don't care if there was cum on the sheets. I didn't know about it at the time. Don't ruin my
experience.
Yeah, I had a
Rather
good
not
experience.
know. Yeah. Well, you won't say the place. It doesn't matter.
All I will say is if you enjoy Kung Pao chicken and
so it's an Asian place.
it is an Asian place.
I mean, that's to be. I mean, almost everybody knows at a certain point that those aren't the most cleanliest.
I mean, I don't. Is that it? I mean, I don't really eat a lot of Asian food, so I don't know. I just like the chicken nuggets. But yeah, I don't know. I have a really limited food palate.
You do.
It's
You
super
like a
limited.
baby palate.
I do. I'm an only child. I don't have to eat anything.
Yeah, I'm just starting to expand that. Like, I'm just starting to eat out and not like eat the same bullshit every time from the same place.
Chicken tenders and fries.
Oh yeah.
No, not chicken tender. I'm not
yes.
that basic, but I would like every restaurant I have my like go to. Right now I'm like heavy on hamburgers, dude. I got the hamburger kick and I'm fucking going.
Fucking
ham.
Randy
Randy.
from Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah, cheeseburgers everywhere. But like I'm talking like anytime that I go out to a restaurant, I'd be like, oh, this place is good Alfredo. I'm gonna get that every time. I'm never gonna like mix up.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah.
You're comfortable and you're
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you like it, I mean, you're not going to be let down with what you get. You might get something you like better, but like the chance of it being worse is going to be higher than it being better.
Well, then that means you just like almost at every restaurant you go to, new restaurant, what you get is basically what you're gonna get forever. So you just have to constantly try new restaurants to even be able to, which isn't a bad thing. But
that, like I said, that's why I'm just starting to change. Before, I mean, I used to be horrific with it. Everywhere I went was the same thing. Now I'm starting to change shit up, but yeah, it's always there.
I'm unwilling to change. I'm not going to change at all.
I'm sort of like that
Yeah.
in some aspects of my life.
Like-
What about anything specific?
Yeah, like my friends told me that I should buy a new Xbox because I've been sitting on this Xbox One that was made in like 2016, but I'm just like, it works. I'm not playing any games that are on the new series, and they're just like, bro, like it's $250. Like just go.
They're
get
like,
a new
yo,
one.
get with the fucking times.
Exactly. And I'm just
When you
like,
could just literally just upgrade the internals and call it a day. Like as soon as you get like a solid state drive and put it in there, it'll fucking boot up so much faster and run games faster too, like computers.
I'm still in the belief that PlayStation 3 and 4 are the only PlayStations around. Like,
really?
PlayStation
dude,
5
like,
just does not
I never
exist.
bought.
Dude,
like,
there's some
consoles after that.
PlayStation 5s like they were bricks. You couldn't even get those things when it first dropped.
Yeah.
Like they were selling at like $800 and they dropped for like
Yeah.
$4.
Yeah, I heard that like even months after they were still like there were people scalping them.
I got one at the
Months.
third time around.
The
like
third-
through
what do you mean?
Walmart, and it came with like a hard drive and everything, like an external SSD that was like 2 terabytes for like dirt cheap with the system and the controller and everything. And then like the drive I got sent was broken and it doesn't boot up nothing, so I have to like send it. They won't let me send it back because it's past the years since I bought it. So like I got the PlayStation when it was like the third time around, and like the PlayStation I have has never had any issues. The only thing like I've had was like updates crashing here and there, like on updates via like Wi-Fi or something. So I put everything hardwired in again. But like the recent, like I waited to the third time around. That's what I did with the PS3. I waited to like the third or fourth version that came out to actually get it until it was like, hey, solid. This is like it running and running good.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Xbox, fuck Activision. I don't know if you're gonna
Oh my
believe
god,
that.
dude.
But listen to this.
Oh shit!
So I
I'm waiting
got
for it.
my account I've been playing on for like fucking 5 years got permanently banned.
Permabanned.
Permabanned.
For what?
Was that just Activision in general?
It was Activision. So I go to get on Xbox.
I'm ready for it.
And I can't sign in because it's saying my account's being used somewhere else.
Huh.
So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, so I get on my Activision account and I look and I see their Steam account and it's just some fucking Russian name.
Huh.
So like I changed my shit up. I like made my password stop fucking hacking bitch and like shit like that. Well, turns out he somehow got it again, and I went to sign on, and it says your account has been permanently banned. So like I go into Activision, and I like say, hey man, I've been trying to change my account and all that, and like this wasn't me. I wasn't using illegal like devices or anything like that. Well, they emailed me back. They're like, well, since it was your account that it was being used on, even if basically wasn't me doing it, we still banned your account.
Yeah, because it's linked to you in a sense. So they're like, hey, we have to.
So if you go through, so I had the exact same thing happen, and I had to contact Steam, and I was like, dude, like he changed my email because he did it while I was like going through training in the military. So he got enough time to change the email that it was attached to. He didn't change the fucking like name, like the password. So I was still able to get in.
Did he change your like security questions and shit too?
Yeah, and like even the phone that it was attached to. So I know exactly where this guy was at. He was in like fucking Bangladesh or something.
I was literally thinking that at the same time.
Yeah, mine was a Russian one.
Yeah, and like
mine was Bangladesh. Not gonna lie.
I mean, they were definitely cheating because like first off, I got a bunch of free games from it. I guess the guy just like bought games and it was just like I never play them, but it's on my fucking library, and like. It's weird because each and every single game has like 100% achievement. So he just went through and just like
he just
cheated
modded
on
the game.
every
He was like, yo, bro, I got everything. Like he unlocked everything.
Games that like shouldn't like a game where like the servers don't even exist anymore. It's saying that I'm in the top 1% of games of servers that don't exist anymore. I was the top 1% of all of like the multiplayer boards. And it's just like, all right, I guess I live with that now. And I had to contact them, and then I had to say like, dude, this is not me. He's in Bangladesh. Here's the proof. Here's my email.
Here's the shots of the screens.
So I'm pretty sure that if you get Steam to approve it, and then you try to say like, hey, Activision, like even fucking Steam.
I'm not even gonna try. I had to. My name's Dirty Locks on there, so I made a dirty burner account. Okay. So that's who I am now. But the only thing that pisses me off is that I put a lot of time into Call of Duty getting like platinum and gold and obsidian guns to just look cooler than other kids while I shoot them.
Yeah, like fuck them kids.
And now I'm just at fucking 1. Like that's 4 years. Like
4 years of grinding in a game to lose everything.
Yeah, well, I didn't have an Xbox for like 8 years, and then COVID hit.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not sitting in the house and fucking just watching Netflix. And like all my friends are on. They're like, dude, get an Xbox, get on. So like I had it since COVID, and like. Anybody knows about that time, like you were just grinding Modern Warfare 2. It just dropped Warzone, like all that stuff. So I had like fucking my Growl, if you guys know what gun that is, was fucking what is it? The best one, was it Obsidian or something like that?
Yeah, that's the Obsidian camo. That's the best you could get.
Yeah, exactly. I had
on every gun.
I had an Obsidian fucking Growl. And
they're like, get fucked.
I forgot about all these things.
Yeah, I don't even know what was his name. It was like a Russian. It was like something with a cough at the end. That's how I knew he was Russian. It was like KOV. It was like it's either Russian or something, Eastern European or something like that.
He was Ukrainian. That's Zelensky's taking.
Yeah,
taking
fucking
your money.
Zelensky. She like saw my fucking Obsidian, and he's like, "Give me that."
Give me that camo, bro.
Yeah, but like so now I'm just like, fuck it. I'll just start over. But like if I ever get big. And Activision ever tries to like make my guy in their game, I'm just gonna tell them fuck you.
Well, here's the thing too. Activision has been so shit lately with like their anti-cheat. It's been so bad that like Rebirth just came back out, so they did a whole another update. But like the other night, like 3 nights ago maybe, there are unreleased skins like Cheech and Chong are supposed to come out in this series of the game for like Warzone and stuff. And there, I saw like 3 to 4 people using the skin for Cheech and Chong, and it's unreleased. So those are people like hacking. They already somehow have the skin, and it's not coming out for another like 3 to 4 months, almost. So like, they have the skins already, and they're playing in the game, and they're not getting banned because literally the next game I played, the same people were in the next game. So like, their anti-cheat is shit. Like, it doesn't do anything for the players. It doesn't help anybody out at all.
I just don't know why people are like, I would get a game that doesn't have like auto aim. Like I play PUBG a lot and it doesn't have auto aims. So you can't auto aim in it, but
there's no aim assist.
There's no aim assist. So like in that game, people will get like, I don't know if you know the Cronuses and the striker packs. So it basically makes so you don't
I just mentioned this earlier actually. There's a like a professional COD player that actually just got banned because they found a Cronus script in his documents on his computer. Like he had a Cronus and was using it, and there was a Cronus script in his shit.
Yeah.
And they banned him just for having that.
Yeah, so basically they just like have scripts where you don't have recoil, but in like Call of Duty, it's the easiest fucking. It's like an arcade game. It's the easiest game. So why are you cheating? Like it's not even like
even
it's
if
not
you
even
just use
fun.
the in-game aim assist now, like if you get the correct
Beams.
like the dead zones or anything, and you put the correct stuff on, it's literally you lock right onto people. Because there's been a few games that I've played recently where it's just. It looks very suspicious because it goes and just locks right on. If you have your sensitivity set correctly and your aim assist and your curve response, it's going to go right to the player no matter what.
I mean, even without all that, it goes straight to the player. Like one player, like if you ever in like close combat and one player goes towards you, your fucking head like turns and it's kind of weird. Like
as soon as you start aiming down sights, it locks right on.
Yeah,
because of how close they are to the actual like player in the game.
Exactly. So I don't even know why people are cheating. Like I just feel like. I got so mad. I got one, right?
You got a cheating thing?
I got it was a striker pack, so I had to adjust it and everything. I was worse.
The extra buttons at the bottom of the controller.
Yeah, I was actually.
You got to memorize shit. Like, what did I map
I was
to
worse
what?
because I was like, people don't account for human error actually helping you, especially in games with recoil.
Yeah.
Like, so most people try to aim for the torso.
Yeah.
Because it's harder to hit the head. But in doing that in games without aim assist, like you have a lot of recoil, but that recoil goes up. So when you're aiming for their body, it automatically goes up to their head, and it's a better shot than rather than trying to dot them just in their body. So it actually was worse with the cheat. And I was like, fuck this.
Well, I was
Like,
going to say,
What did you have, like an aimbot?
No, because you can't aimbot in PUBG. It just basically, I got rid of recoil.
Oh, okay.
like,
And I could turn-
visual recoil.
Yeah, and I could turn guns that weren't automatic.
Okay.
Like-
Oh, shit. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, just with the tap of the trigger on the controller. Or
Yeah,
whatever
and then
he's
you have
using.
like rapid fire shit and all that stuff. And then I got a Cronus, but like, dude, the amount of work you have to put in just to put in the Cronus, like, I was like, this isn't even worth it. So it was like $120 for me to basically be a fucking software engineer.
Yeah, so aren't those things like, if you're doing it through like the PC, I think I've seen them where like they have like another USB going to the PC, and that just kind of like it's like basically another computer onto your computer.
Well, so
And then I've also seen ones where it's like a controller, and then it just attaches to your controller. Is that like kind of what you're working with?
Yeah, so mine is basically, you would call it like a little piece.
you basically
where
plug the controller right
You
into
receive
that
all
to
your
whatever.
information from, you plug that into your controller and all that. But I use paddles a lot. So,
What do you mean?
like paddles on your controller.
What's paddles on your
The bumper
controller?
buttons.
They're extra buttons, but they're
Oh.
mapped to your fingers, and you can
Oh.
change it. So like you don't have to, like in PUBG, like I'd have to move my finger off the aim stick to like switch something or something. So I could just map my switch or my when you switch to your guns to a different button, and I'm just like using it like this. Like, so basically I'm just using all my fingers down here instead of moving my thumb over.
Okay.
So I used that,
So you
but
basically have a specialized controller.
that's all the elite controllers. All the
Okay,
elite
okay.
controllers have them, but I'm too cheap to buy an elite controller. It's like I'm too cheap to get a new Xbox.
Mhm.
I have this one that just snaps onto the back of your controller, and it's basically paddles. So
Okay. Yeah, dude, I've been.
Is it Scuff that makes those? Is it Scuff
this one was like
controllers?
Big Wow Wow or some weird. I got it on
They have a whole
Amazon.
bunch of different brands. It's like the same thing, but you can literally, like you said, click it on the back of the controller,
and you
then
have paddles now.
Yeah, it'll
instead of-
plug it. It'll like map into the actual controller if you plug it. Do you plug it into the top at all?
Yeah,
is
you plug it into your like
USB
top, and,
port?
and it sits in your like battery
Okay.
pocket. But it's basically just paddles, so you have extra buttons on your fingers that aren't on top of your controller.
Yeah.
So you can.
Yeah. So if you want to use those bottom buttons to like ping stuff, like to ping a location you want to run to and leave it on the map, you can map those bottom buttons to do that, or reload, or do sliding.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
so that's how you see all those like lyrical miracle guys like
Lyrical
jumping up and
Miracle.
down and yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like when I've played COD recently, it's just people just jumping up and down in place and moving side to side,
Yeah.
and they're fucking destroying you because they have all this extra shit mapped out, and it's usually mouse and keyboard too that destroy you.
Dude,
So
you know
it's
what's-
like they'll come out and be like just jumping up and down in place, and then they'll fucking dive slide past you and then just spin around and shoot you real quick, and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
But they think they're cute. I can do all that shit too, and I do
Yeah.
it, and they get so pissed off. Just like, you want a jump shot? Like, we can jump shot all day.
yeah, I just do it. I do it on a normal controller. I just
Yeah,
slide
you
past
can
them and
just
spin around and fucking.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's kind of going a little bit on a different game. I just started recently going back and playing Left 4 Dead 2. That shit still holds up. Did you ever play that? Whenever
There's a lot of mods out for that right now.
Oh yeah, well I mean that's always been a
I
thing.
played
Did you ever play that?
Left 4 Dead briefly.
Okay, dude, the community on it is so fucking toxic because they have like a versus mode where like 4 people could be the zombies and 4 people. If you mess up once, they just kick you. They don't even want you on your team. You get you get kicked. So yeah, that's
I believe it.
whenever I'm hearing you guys like talking about putting extra shit on, I'm like they're probably doing that. And I just never realized it.
I'm surprised I didn't get in trouble the other night because I was on Call of Duty and they like as soon as you start playing now, it has a fucking notification that pops up like your game chat is being recorded.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
What?
some dude got banned the other day for calling some kid Helen Keller because he wasn't paying attention and he couldn't see or hear where the fucking person was.
How
He
do
goes,
you get
"Good
in
job,
trouble for
Helen
that?"
Keller," and he got banned.
oh you like they have proximity chat now, so like
Yeah, prox chat, dude, it's fucking
How do you get in
wild.
trouble for that though? That's
They
so
they
stupid.
record. Activision records
yeah.
every game.
I'm
now.
guessing they have certain words they're pinged.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So-
Helen Keller is one of them.
Well, some dude called his teammate Helen Keller and he got banned. He was like, "What the fuck? I got a 24-hour ban for calling some kid Helen Keller. Like,
Bring
what the
up
fuck?"
And you can
Square.
report people for it
Yeah.
too.
If
Oh,
you
yeah,
could,
yeah.
you could sit there and just watch people play too. Here's the wild shit. So I played earlier with some like my buddy, and he had a redeploy pack and he had like 15 seconds till he came back. So I was dead. It let me view where the fucking enemy team was and put me.
Oh, yeah.
It put me into one of the enemy players and I could see where my buddy was dropping at. And it was like, "Oh, you have 5 seconds till you come back." So I sat there for 5 seconds. And I'm like, "Dude, they're in grandma's house." So that's what they call the one house on Rebirth.
Yeah, Greenbow.
And he was like, "Dude, they're." I was like, "Dude, they're right there." And he jumped. He just dropped down and shot and killed them. I was in their bodies watching them play, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, I had that happen too. Yeah,
Dude,
it's crazy.
it's fucking wild. Like the updates they've been putting out recently, they're all fucked.
Oh yeah, I like got on and it just wouldn't let me like. It would say it was downloaded, but it wouldn't let me get past the like menu screen. So I had to delete and re-download
Yeah.
COD.
So I play on this tower, but with my monitor at home. So like every time I log on, it wants me to re-download shaders that I've already had fucking download. So like I'll get to play 3 to 4 games and it'll be like DirectX problem and it'll crash. And it'll send me back to the main screen. So I'll re-upload and like, "Yo, do you want to do in safe mode?" So I'm like, "No." So I just keep my normal settings so it doesn't change the graphics that I'm trying to use. And then 3 to 4 games later, boom, DirectX problem, crashes again. So I have to go into Steam and test the integrity of those files. And it's like, "Oh, 58 files are missing." So it fucking redoes those files, re-downloads them, and puts them back into the folder that's on the external. And then you boot back in, and it's like, "Oh, safe mode again." I'm like, "No." So I go in 3 to 4 games later, boom, DirectX problem, just crashes. Like their updates recently are just ridiculous.
$1 billion company.
A $1 billion company and can't fucking put out a solid
fucking
update where you can
$20
play 6
Snoop
games.
Dogg skins.
Yeah, like $80 fucking Kong versus the King Kong versus Godzilla stuff. They have the glove that's $80,
That's crazy.
and people are buying it. They're paying $80 for a glove that it takes 1 to 2 hits to kill somebody.
Yeah, I'm not big on the melee, but I did get that. What is it? Scar King, fucking operator. That was pretty.
I bought
pretty
21
badass.
Savage, by the way.
Yeah, that pisses me off.
I
Like
had
when
to.
You
I,
could just buy
When I
21
see-
Savage.
I bought 21 Savage, and I was
When I
like, "Fuck
see
yeah!" And I go around and kill
someone
people.
with a fucking BBL shooting me and killing me and jumping over me.
Fucking Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, that pisses me off. Like that's the one thing. That's where I draw the fucking line.
Dude, I run around. It's 21 Savage. He goes, "Man, I took 6 shots before. I could take 6 more." I'm like, "What the fuck? 21? What did you
So-
just say?"
I mean, it sounds like you're pretty into. Do you stream at all?
I don't stream.
Okay.
No.
I do.
Because if I were to stream, some of the conversations that me and my friends have in there.
Listen, I played with this girl I know and her fiance the other night. We had some wild conversations while streaming on Twitch. I never got monetized or nothing. It's still up on my Twitch channel. Like you can go and view it. I stream like I try to stream like every day, and then I try to do a lot of solos, and I try to get into a bunch of duos and trios and stuff. So try to stream on Twitch and do that shit.
Not a Kick guy, just Twitch.
I was gonna go to Kick because they'll actually pay you $16 an hour to stream on their platform. If you stream so many hours a day, they will pay you up to $16 an hour to stream every day.
Really?
Yes,
How long?
6 to 8 hours. It all depends
6
on
to
how.
8 hours, dude. That's
Listen,
a
if
whole
you look
fucking
into it, but the
workday.
thing is, I saw though too that
$16 for 6 to 8 hours.
Well, here's the thing too. I've seen a lot of people
Never
recently,
mind.
like on Twitch, that stream like 8 to 9 hours, start at like 7 a.m. and they don't stop until like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And they make their money that way between donations and like people coming to their stream and, you know, resubscribing and stuff like that. But like on Kick, if you go to their, like, if you look through all the stuff, your requirements, like I saw at one point that you needed so many followers before you could actually go live and reach other people in different regions. And then they were like, oh, you can make $16 an hour if you stream this many times a day. So I'm like, okay. And then they cut you a check, basically like Twitch does when you get your donations and shit.
Yeah, but it's only $16 for 6 to 8 hours. That's what, like, that's $2 an hour.
Plus, but the thing is too,
but if you're just doing it to fuck around, I guess it doesn't matter.
I think
right?
it's $16 an hour, not $16, right?
Oh, 16.
It's $16 an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So-
not too bad.
But I was gonna say they pay you per hour plus it's a 95 to 5% keep ratio, so you get to keep 95% of your earnings between donations and how much you make an hour, and they get 5% of it. So you keep 95% of your money earned plus donations, and then you get to do it as a independent contractor at the end.
That's
of
not
the year.
Trainwreck's platform. What does Trainwreck have? What's his platform? He's a streaming platform, doesn't he? It's not Kick.
I'm not sure.
Is that a new platform, Trainwreck?
No, Trainwreck is like a streamer. He's a big streamer.
Okay, he's a big one.
There's a lot of people that use Kick nowadays because
know.
they're making the 16 plus an hour. If you stream longer than 9 hours a day, they pay you more an hour. So I think it's too, after so many months they pay you so much more an hour. If you do the 6 to 8 hours or whatever, after so many months you're like, yo, boom, 17. They bump you up so much.
Mm-hmm. But I only know the Queso and what's the other guy? The two big guys. I only know those two. I see them floating around on
Dr.
like, reels.
Disrespect?
Not Dr. Disrespect. I
Dr.
do see
Disrespect
him.
uses YouTube.
Yeah.
So does like
a lot of them use YouTube because
Nick Merckx and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, what is this? Who's the big 2K streamer? I forget his name, but they were asking him. They were like, "If we were to take everything away, could you get big again?" He was like, "Yeah, I could get big again in 6 months." He was like, "You use YouTube for longevity, you use TikTok for reach,
Okay.
and then you use Twitter for basically just being up with the content." And he's like, you kind of just lock yourself in with like whatever's trending at the time and go with it, and then you just build up a notoriety, and then you keep going. So like, say Aiden Ross was trending, you would make content and then basically of what Aiden Ross is doing right now, and then you would just build off of that because other people are gonna see you because like,
yeah, because you're technically like
you're locking into the algorithm is basically what you're.
So
just a heads up, guys, we're gonna have to take a break here soon.
Yeah, we're probably gonna be wrapping it up soon, but. Before we kind of wrap it up, what do you feel about the TikTok stuff? You mentioned TikTok. How do you feel about if they're going to be banning it or not?
I thought they passed the bill for it to ban.
I know, but I'm just what do you feel?
I feel about the
yeah.
TikTok. I use TikTok for two things: food recipes and when women are doing their women challenges.
What's a women challenge?
Touche.
What was the one challenge?
Like those fucking dances and shit like that?
Yeah, but they're doing more than dancing. Showing a little more than
I get what you're
dance
saying,
moves. Yeah, you know what
an
challenge.
exotic
I'm talking
challenge.
about.
I haven't seen them in an exotic challenge.
Yes, but there have been some good ones.
So they're out there? That's a thing? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, like the arch your back challenge. Do you remember that one?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably saw it, but it was
on
like...
TikTok.
I mean, that's pretty decent.
And
But
it's
like
like
food and women.
Yeah.
Food.
So
and
you
women.
don't really care if it stays up or not.
I mean, I get what they're saying, but like the people look kind of stupid in our Congress when they're talking to someone. Where is he from? Taiwan or like Singapore?
It's
Yeah,
a
the
Chinese
Singapore
owned company,
guy?
and they don't want to do business with China. They're like, they're fucking stealing all of our information.
They already have
They
it.
already, yeah, I was
They
gonna
already
say,
have it. Like, what the
they
fuck?
already
Like,
have
just-
it.
What? Just because they're not owned by an American person, so we can't make money here off of an app that's based out of China.
I'll play devil's advocate here though for the U.S., but do you think the U.S. doesn't have companies and shit in China that are being utilized?
We do business with China all the time.
That's what I'm saying. So
How do you think we get half of our electronics?
yeah, it's crazy. So I'm getting a little more, serious, but a lot of people are saying they want to ban TikTok because it goes against their narrative and propaganda. That people are getting a lot of information that you would otherwise not see, like this Iran and fucking Israel thing. Like they're like, oh yeah, Iran's just attacking out of nowhere. Well, if you do the research, fucking Israel blew up their consulate in fucking Syria. No, if anybody would blow up the American people's consulate, like
Oh, yeah.
we're fucking them up. Like there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And they said Israel did that on purpose to try to like pull us in. But I would only know this.
It would start a world war.
Yeah, the only reason I know this is because of TikTok.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I
The
just
real
know
part.
because I give a shit a lot about like geopolitics. I mean, there's reasons. It's not.
Jewish?
Huh? Am I?
He said geopolitics, not
Oh, I
Jewish
thought you
politics.
said-
No, geopolitics.
I'm giving a shit about politics because I'm Jewish.
Jewish politics.
No anti-Semitism.
I did
Yeah.
earlier. I did
Don't
earlier
worry,
say
I'm
that I was Jewish whenever I was talking about money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you were a Jew about money.
I thought you were saying that word politics. I was like, damn.
No. I do like follow a lot of it, but it's not just what you were saying. It's not perfectly cut clear, but there's two sides to everything, and I think that TikTok does show
Exactly.
both sides
So you're
more
gonna-
than-
you-
Well, I don't think they like either that we get most of our information about the government is from TikTok. People are like, "Yo, we can connect with other people that have like the same ideologies that we
Well-
like the same things we think as other people." And they're like, "Hey, they're afraid that the American people are going to band together on a Chinese-owned, app.
I mean,
That's going to push us against the the American government."
if you want proof that the government is against is like they can't agree on the freaking daylight savings time going away, but they can agree TikTok's bad.
Yeah.
that's
There's
stupid.
definitely an ulterior motive.
Damn groundhogs.
And it's like, wait, the groundhog guy, like what? He's right 25% of the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
40, I
Dude,
think.
fuck
I think
that
it's
guy.
40. Come on, give
they-
Chuck his.
No, I don't think it's that high.
Isn't it the same
It's
fucking
Phil.
thing?
His name's Phil. It's
Phil,
not Chuck.
Phil.
So I think some other state has a
Punxsutawney
Chuck.
Phil.
There's-
Yeah.
And then something like Maine
Fuck
has like a
Chuck.
fish or something like that. There are
A
a lot.
fish?
Yeah, there's something like that. Yeah.
Huh. Fish.
There's different animals that
If
prognosticate
that fish
poorly.
sees this damn
Yeah.
shadow, we're gonna go have no
That
more fucking
groundhog
winter.
has like the best life. Lives in that, gets all the food he wants once
I
he
think he
comes
gets
out.
pissed off when they come
He's got
fucking
kids.
knocking at his door.
Punxsutawney
He's tired
Phil's
of
got
it.
kids
Yeah,
now.
he's
Did you know
probably.
that?
Why do you guys come here the same time every year?
But I keep giving me that food
Just
though all
bug
year.
the shit out of him.
Don't they
dude.
hibernate? Don't they have to fucking wake him
yeah,
up?
so they're waking him up. That's why he's always upset. If you ever look at him, he
Yeah,
does
he's
not
probably
look fucking
pissed.
happy.
But when
He's
he's
pissed to
awake, though,
work.
he's getting all the food. He has the best groundhog life.
He's got kids though now.
Yeah, there's been a couple
Yeah.
pills.
Punxsutawney Phil's got a wife and she's got kids now.
Who the fuck came up with Punxsutawney Phil?
Someone
Fucking
was
know.
real
people-
drunk.
some-
and why in
that was-
Punxsutawney?
Some
All
white
places.
trash drunk in Punxsutawney,
They're like,
Pennsylvania. was
we
like,
need
"Yo,
a
let's get
reason to drink.
that's exactly what it
let's-
came down
Let's
to.
go look at a groundhog.
Let's get a
We need
damn
reason to
groundhog
drink.
and put him up for
thing as
Congress."
The Irish and what? Fucking
Wasn't Punxsutawney featured in an
Patrick's Day?
Afro
Yeah.
Man song?
What's that?
What song?
Yeah, he
Afro Man song?
yeah, he
Grove
it-
City was.
Yeah.
Really, really?
What?
Every city in Pennsylvania was mentioned in that Afro Man song.
Yeah.
Even Mercer?
Pimpin' Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Afro Man is pimpin' Pennsylvania. You never heard
He
that?
literally
No.
talks about
No.
every city in Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh's
Had- he
mentioned.
had to
Elwood
mention- he had
City's
to mention Grove
mentioned.
City, he said.
Slippery Rock's
Nice.
mentioned. Grove City.
Punxsutawney?
Check it out.
Punxsutawney. Dude, it's a whole
Dude,
song
I
about
just saw
Pennsylvania.
recently fucking Afro Man talk. He did a song recently about whenever he got raided. That shit was funny as fuck to me. Have you ever seen it?
No?
Yeah, he gets raided for possible kidnap charge and no, the kidnap charge was bullshit, but also I don't know, drug charges. So, but he has video of them going through his house, like all the police and shit. And he's making a song showing the video, and he's like, "I know you really want my lemon cake," and it's like showing a cop looking at lemon cake. He's like, "But I don't got kids in my suit pockets." Yo.
By the way, the Afro Man song is called Pimpin' Pennsylvania.
Yes.
It's great.
I'll have to listen to that. Yeah, I haven't heard it.
Wait, how old are you? Why do I know? I feel like I know more about like.
I remember when
shit that
Because I
you
Got
should
High
know.
came out.
I mean, why should I know about that?
That's like your era.
When did it come out?
What, like 90 something?
Hold on, I will tell you right now. Once I can get there.
Dude, listen, John's a WWE guy. He's wearing a rock shirt right
Listen.
now.
Oh Lord.
Don't judge my Dame Lillard Ric Flair shoes. They're awesome.
He's
Ric
got
Flair's
Ric
the
Flair
dude.
shoes on right now.
I won't play basketball because I can't wear low tops when I play basketball. I wear low tops when I play
you
basketball.
were the worst basketball. They're not even basketball.
They're running shoes. They're
Yeah.
running shoes because I don't really play
Running
basketball. I just
shoes.
run around. I
I
mean, it's,
very true.
and shoot some threes, but I have to run around to get open. Yeah, I need the running shoes.
But we'll probably, unless you want to talk about anything specific that you want to talk about, Cam.
I thought you guys wanted to hear my crazy.
That was kind of the idea initially. Then like,
That was your initial idea.
What's
So
up?
about his basketball theory.
so Kish wanted me to talk about my
Kind of reverse racist.
No, it's
Wow.
stereotypical but highly researched theory
Okay.
on college basketball, specifically college basketball champions,
Mm-hmm.
specifically the black to white ratio on college basketball champions.
Okay.
Because we were at basketball, we played basketball together, two, 3 times a week. And they were talking about who's going to win the national championship, and they were talking about Purdue. And I told them Purdue was too white to win the national championship. And I told them that I bet you if I went back in the last 20 years, that there would be a percentage that would show me that having more blacks on your team, I'm allowed to say blacks. I'm black, so I can't stand racist. Than white people on your teams.
So you're saying that there's a percentage ratio?
Actually, the research, I have the percents right here.
Let's see what
He's got the information. Also, Pippin to Pennsylvania came out in 2008.
Really? 2008.
Year before I graduated.
That's I'm old. Yeah.
Let me see where this is. It should be here.
We could probably edit it up on top of it too. Well, if you don't mind sending it to us, then we'll send it.
While you're looking it up, is it just men's college basketball? Because you had both tournaments were good for you this year.
It's female leagues too.
Well, there's the women's tournament too, and both the men's and women's teams had like Great White Hopes that both got beat down in the finals.
Great White Hopes.
I mean, I was proud to watch
Like a
Connecticut
damn shark.
beat them down. I mean, they did. Like Caitlin Clark was like, I mean, she's a baller. She's gonna get. You got it.
Yeah, I have all the information here here. Okay, so the black to white ratio the last 20 years by starters on average is 86.5% of the starting 5 roster was black and 14.5% was white. Only once the team with the majority, I put whiteies, but white people.
I like that.
And the starting 5 won the national championship, and you could probably guess what college that came from. Yes, it was Duke. And let me see.
Duke was the only one that got.
That was in 2010.
Damn.
That
2010.
After Reddick,
But
yeah.
I ran into a little problem this year.
Oh.
Because I actually did my research, and UConn was actually 3 white starters, 2 black starters. But Purdue had 4 white starters and 1 black starter.
Yeah.
So.
And UConn had a pretty dark bench too. They were pretty then they played well rounded.
Oh yeah.
Like they were. I mean, it wasn't just the starters. The bench played real solid for them this year.
And then I can't prove this one because they don't really. You can't really like ask people their sexual orientation, but I believe.
You absolutely can.
But yeah, well, you can. I believe in women's college basketball that there's probably a ratio of dykes to straight women.
I mean, everybody.
And who wins the national championship?
Probably. I mean, how many of them are straight? I mean, at that level, like, I mean,
you can't even come up with numbers. Like, if
You
they're black,
probably
I'm like,
could.
that's black.
because even ones that you think like might be straight, like Sue Bird doesn't look like typical, butch woman. She's pretty hot.
I mean, you could probably, if you actually did the research, you could probably find out. The only thing
I'd have to look up a lot of girlfriends and a lot of names.
Yeah, and the probably the only thing that would like really fuck up the numbers is the closeted ones. The closeted ones, that's going to be a real problem trying to get those numbers.
Yeah.
What a crazy list for your algorithm to be on if you just start looking up all these MCA players and seeing who their spouses were.
These WNBA players?
And NCAA players, yeah. Seeing who their spouses were, yeah.
NCAA would be harder because they're not as publicized.
I mean, the big programs are, aren't they? Like, kind of, I don't know. And didn't they say that I didn't watch too much other than the final game, but like, didn't they say the women outdrew the men this year?
Yeah, because they have a lot better like names.
Yeah.
The Great White Hope, I find that funny.
Caitlin Clark, man, she's a Great White Hope.
She is.
I can't with the Great White Hope shit.
She was.
And like Ice Cube was gonna get her $5 million to play in the Big Three. She'd get thugged out.
That's like prison ball.
Oh my god, that's such a terrible
she's
idea.
Like a
$150, which would be too
I don't
big
even
for
think
me.
she's a $150.
I mean, she'd be too big for me, but
she's
like
probably like $130.
You think she's like 6 foot?
Yeah, but she's.
I bet
you
she's
see how skinny
I
she
bet
is?
she's 160. I'm looking this up. There's
no way she's 160.
I'm surprised how much.
Wait, do
you
they
guys
put
know.
women's weight on there? I never thought.
they do.
Do they just put their height?
No, they'll put the weight on there.
I'm surprised about how much you guys know about women's basketball.
Well, she is 6 foot.
What's her weight?
I don't pay attention
It
to
doesn't
basketball
say.
at all.
I told you they don't put women's weight on there.
It's just they give you a quick fact section and doesn't tell
They
you the
have
weight.
to put their weight on there.
Why? It's not like men. They're not like busting down low. I need a 300-pound 7-footer.
She weighs 154
There
pounds.
we go. See,
154?
154.
6 foot? That's still
6
pretty
foot.
lean.
That
but
was
yeah.
me in high school.
Yeah.
She's
That's
carrying her
crazy.
damn weight.
Yeah, she would get like Reggie Evans or someone would just beat the hell out of her.
Would you?
What?
Caitlin Clark.
Too tall for me. 6
tall?
foot. 6 foot.
I mean, from a look standpoint.
I mean, she's cute enough. Yeah, when she dresses up.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like people try to judge WNBA players by like them playing basketball, but none of us look good when we're sweaty and like.
No. Now, Caitlin Clark and Sue Bird looks hot all the time. She looks good. Her girlfriend looks good when she doesn't have like a man cut haircut. The soccer player.
Man cut haircut.
He was the soccer player that was.
I know what you're talking about. She was like the best player.
Yeah, and then her and Trump clashed. I don't know what her name is. Yeah.
Her and Trump clash?
Yeah, they had a big thing. It was
what?
Yeah, carpet muncher.
It was a weird thing. Yeah, and then
GOP.
and I mean, it was interesting when they said they should be paid as much as other people when they didn't make nearly as much money.
Well, the women's soccer team has a case because they've won like a lot of the fucking World Cups.
But people don't come out to watch them though.
They come out. The soccer is different because that's international, and like women's soccer is huge. Not as big as men's soccer, but it's still fucking big. Just not here in the United States because.
I mean, if there's money, they should.
We call
get
it football soccer.
Yeah, if there's money, they should get some. Yeah, the NFL owns 6 days of the week now. Whatever, it's ridiculous. But like, I mean, if they get paid more money, if they make more money, it's pool. Like WNBA players complaining about how much they make. It's like no one watches shit.
Well, no. WNBA players have a problem with the equity that goes in. So for the NBA, like players get paid the team's equity too. So like any merch sales and all that stuff, the players also get a part in that. They don't in the WNBA. Okay. So all the deals going on outside of WNBA, the players actually don't get a piece of that. And that's why they're pissed off.
But that kind of sucks though. I mean, because like that should be so it's still on their players and they're not getting the money from it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
like
it's whoever's doing their CBA is terrible.
But even if they like the league gets that, have they ever made a profit even with that money? I feel like the NBA just writes that off every year. Like the WNBA has never made a profit. I don't think.
I'm gonna tell you this: if any billionaire is willing to buy a business, there's making money somewhere. There's money somewhere.
Well, I think the people that own the NBA make the money and they cover the league. I think they write it off.
I think that's just.
I'd like to know if they've ever made a profit.
I don't think it was reported as a profit, but like again, you have to look at other things. Like how much does it really cost to run a team? Because the highest paid player is like $100,000.
Yeah, it's like worse than
Curry. Steph Curry makes like triple what the entire salaries of the WNBA makes. So where's that overhead at?
I'm not saying
the players, your product.
I'm not saying the NBA doesn't have the money to do it. I'm saying
I'm saying the WNBA. How are they not making money?
Well, I mean, do they have a TV contract?
I'm sure they do. They're on ESPN.
Yeah, I guess they are. But
so they definitely have a TV contract.
I wonder if that goes with the NBA's thing. I think I read like they never made a profit. It doesn't matter because the NBA is so big; they always make a profit. But like,
I think women's basketball, if they would change their marketing, could be really big.
I mean, they're more fundamental some games. I mean,
I was watching these games and I actually kind of liked it because they actually scored the basketball. That's why I hate the JV league in men's college basketball because like plays that we take for granted from like the NBA.
Yeah.
Those guys like don't routinely make like making free throws. The only people that don't really make free throws are like the big man in NBA. But you'll have like Jimmy who just got off a bender from last night. You know, you have a plus 8.5 money line on him, and he misses the 2 free throws and blows your fucking parlay. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you have professionals, and then you have kids.
So you had to love watching UConn. Then they played a professional game all season.
Well, Bobby Hurley is.
Yeah.
Like, am I allowed to say Nazi?
I mean,
probably. He's a basketball.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, he's a fucking basketball Nazi.
He came across
he has some. Not whipped in the place because we don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, well, the ratio was better than normal for you. So I mean, we can.
But no, but
he's
he's like a hardcore fucking basketball guy, so they're gonna be whipped in the shit.
He was the worst of his family too. Like he didn't play well as a college player, and his dad was like legit.
Yeah, he was
like
right.
this is like brought him back to the top of the family. There, wonder when Seth Curry's gonna get his moment.
I don't think he does.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
You can't do anything about 4 championships.
Yeah.
But that's at least your younger brother. Yeah. So that's your older brother.
Yeah. And their dad was. I mean, Steph blew his dad away. His dad was. Did his dad get a ring?
He was a decent player, but he's not Steph.
No, I mean, I don't think you could beat Steph in 1990. I think you get thugged out.
No, Mark Price was.
It wasn't Steph. Couldn't shoot like him.
Mark Price was a bucket.
He was making shoot like Steph.
And Reggie Miller was in the 90s. They just didn't shoot it at the clip that they do now.
I don't know, I guess.
There's players taking 8, averaging 6 to 8 3-pointers a game. Like, there's people that didn't even shoot 2 a game back in the 90s.
I wish Ray Allen was born a decade later. I think Ray Allen would challenge Curry.
I've heard of this, and is this true? Where like people from the '90s, I heard that they're completely off from like modern day.
What do you
Is that
mean?
true? So like I've heard that like certain things that players do now would bury people that were like in the early '80s,
No.
maybe '90s.
Oh well, the '80s is different,
Yeah.
but like the golden era basketball was like from '90 to I would say 2010.
I was gonna 26. I was gonna 206.
You're
Yeah, I think
so-
Six is the
What
last one.
changed it? What changed
so
it from-
basically what happened is that you have the perfect marriage between like our basketball and the basketball before. So with like our basketball now, it's geared more towards the offensive player. But like players back in the 90s, like Allen Iverson was getting in trouble for his crossover.
So good.
They were saying it was a palm. Like, so players played a little differently there. And then defense, people talk about defense. Like, people don't realize the 90s was the highest, like, until recently, was the highest, like, pace ever in the NBA. Like, they were scoring points back there then. It was just like a more technical game, and it was a more inside game. Like, now it's 3-and-D, a lot of people shooting three-pointers and just playing defense, and it's wider open. But I will say dribbling's obviously better now because, like,
Can't hand check.
and you can hand check.
Not like you could in the 90s.
You can't like you can in the 90s, but you can still hand check like when you're inside the 15 feet.
Yeah, but you can't hand check. I mean, you used to hand check it.
Yeah, but you
At
shouldn't
court.
be hand checking anyway. You're still allowed to like check them a little bit, but like if you're purposely throwing someone off their dribble and where they're trying to go, like it's a foul.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, that's a difference.
Yeah, there is a big difference. It was a little more. I would say it was a little more physical back then, and people were a little more, I guess, dedicated to their craft.
I would love to see what it'd be like some of those 90s players in early 2000s, if like, because the space limited a lot because of the 3-point shot. Like, imagine like Allen Iverson crashing with all that space because he had shooters. Like,
Well, that's why he was talking about that, because Allen Iverson was playing probably the hardest defensive era ever at barely 6 feet
he
tall.
wasn't 6 foot.
He wasn't 6 feet tall. Barely 6 feet tall, and he averages for his career 27 points a game.
Yeah, and again, he was getting killed.
Yeah. So imagine if he has the spacing now, and he was shooting more threes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, people don't understand, like, when people went and played the 76ers, they were only guarding Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't care about those other 4 people.
No.
Like
Mutombo. Yeah.
Yeah, he was an offensive.
I mean, they built
doozy.
that team for Allen Iverson, though.
Yeah, they did,
They
but they
built-
could have helped him out a
I
little
mean,
more.
but they built so he could, do that. I still think T-Mac would have been the best in the
if, he
space
didn't, if he
era.
didn't get hurt,
And in that era, like, put T-Mac in that space era where he has all, like, he's got the whole,
Kobe said that T-Mac was better than him.
I agree with that.
He was like, he has everything that I have, but
What, 4 inches, 5 inches?
he's like, he can do everything I can do, but he's 3 inches taller.
And he was always high. Like, he look, his eyes glazed over.
They've been smoking like
T-Mac was he was big on that, though. Just like, I mean, he kind of looked like Landon Glass out there.
Do you think like how many of them do you think are like actually high out on the court?
I wouldn't say a lot of them.
They
You ever
probably
play
get
basketball high? It's
tested.
not like something you want to do high.
Yeah, I'm not into basketball at all.
I
so
have
a
played
lot
basketball
of this is just
high,
going over my head.
but it's not something that if I really wanted to like be like competitive, it's a weird feeling playing basketball.
It would have to be like if
Okay.
you were nervous, like if you were anxious, and you would help you with the anxious. Like you
Yeah.
didn't see a couple shots go down, and you were a little high, it wouldn't bother you as much. It's like, taking the edge off, I would assume, if you're doing it.
No, I mean, do they test a lot in basketball? Like,
They
is
don't
there
test for
anything-
marijuana.
Yeah.
They don't test for. But they
So
test for
anybody
other
you
shit,
hear getting kicked out of the NBA for drugs, just know it wasn't marijuana.
right? Yeah.
Like
They
Chris,
were doing,
like Chris Anderson doing all them hard drugs.
yeah,
Birdman.
like you're doing just. Well, circling back to Amazon, they don't test for marijuana. So,
Oh
if-
yeah, that's not surprising at all.
yeah. So if you don't get hired or you get fired, because they will test you if you get in like a bad accident.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the hard shit,
Yeah.
crack, fat, whatever.
Yeah. 'Cause they-
Something I can't justify operating a vehicle.
They,
Yeah.
they test
Not
for
that I
opiates and
justify-
everything.
yeah. No one's saying
operating
you
a
are.
vehicle while
Dude,
you're
being
high.
on
Other
fentanyl,
people.
driving one.
But yeah, but dozing out and operating a motor vehicle is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Gotta get your. But how's Amazon like the best at getting the packages to you though? Too like they have all these people and they're the best. Amazon's the best. delivering packages to someone that like
it's a sweatshop, all the way around, through and through.
they're so good at it.
Well, that's what I said. I said I can't hate on if anybody deserves to be a billionaire through way of sleaze. It's probably Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, he had a little bookstore, and he's like all of a sudden blew up.
Like,
it's amazing.
He
Yeah,
really, and a lot of people don't realize that his ex-wife actually helped him out with a lot of this stuff. So that's why she got
Yeah, that's why
pretty
she
good
got
chunk.
like, she became the most richest woman in the world right after they got divorced.
and he upgraded to the same version of her, 20 years younger.
I think it's worse.
She
She looks like a plastic.
I thought they
doll.
looked about the same.
Well, Well, he looks kind of like her.
Yeah,
Because I think he's getting surgeries too.
dude shouldn't get surgery. That makes me mad.
You think Jeff Bezos definitely got a tummy?
Probably did, but I don't think you should get surgery if you're a guy.
Sure.
Like, you get better with age if you're a dude. Like, chicks need to worry. Like, 29,
Yeah,
30.
it depends. If there's a chick that takes care of herself, you're getting better with age. Like, everything softens up a little bit.
Dude, did you hear about his yacht shit where he had a whole bridge get torn down and then remade just so he
in
could make
Amsterdam.
a bigger shop, a bigger yacht? That shit was fucking wild.
And so you
I
could
mean,
get through. I think it's the canals in Amsterdam. He wanted to bring his yacht in.
Yeah,
there.
I guess that they can only build like in a certain spot, so they had to. For them to leave, they had to go underneath a bridge. The bridge just wasn't big enough for that yacht, so they had to destroy and rebuild a bridge just for Jeff Bezos.
I mean, Jeff Bezos, like, the dude buys Whole Foods and makes money on it because its stock price went up so high.
Does Amazon have? Do they own Whole Foods?
They
They
own
own
they do, 'cause it's on the
they own
fucking-
their distribution.
Okay.
And if you have an Amazon Prime card, you get like 7% off purchase of Whole Foods.
Yeah.
And I do.
Shout out Whole Foods.
I don't really eat healthy, but I mean, I'll take the discount.
I mean, it's like a regular grocery store.
Yeah.
Feels too healthy for me to
Dude,
go
they
in
have a
there.
whole buffet where they serve mac and cheese and like.
Yeah, I don't
they
think
make
I've
like
ever been
pizzas
inside
and
of
shit
Whole
there. They like have pizzas by the slices. And, like,
Oh, that
healthy stuff.
pizza. Hey, for like a grocery store, because you get that grocery store pizza. It's like doughy and fucking gross. No, they make some pretty good fucking pizza.
Yeah.
Sam's Club makes really good pizza too, surprisingly.
Are you Sam's Club guy or Costco guy?
I love Sam's Club because there's one closer in Ohio, so the gas is like $1 cheaper than Mercer, and Sam Club has like the grab and go app. So all you have to do is like use your phone, you scan the barcode, and there's a whole line of people like checking out. I walk right past that fucking line, show them my phone, and they let me go. I don't have any checkout at all. I just scan it in the buggy. It's amazing. I can't shop anywhere else. I'm telling you, like, I literally I can get in and out of Sam's Club in 25 minutes.
Do they have like a thing like the $1.50 hot dog like Costco does?
Oh,
Yeah, they do. They have stuff like that too. And the only thing that irritates me is the barcode's a little roughed up because it's been there forever, so you might not be able to scan it. So if I can't scan it right away, I'm out. Plus, I like to go to Raising Cane's right after Sam's Club. So
Raising Cane's, by the way.
What the fuck is Raising
Oh,
Cane's?
Oh my God.
It's like a Zaxby's, but
Yep,
up north.
it's better.
Don't disrespect Raising Cane's like that.
I don't even know what it is.
Raising Cane's
It's a tender
is-
place, chicken tenders.
It's chicken tenders, but like they're the Chick-fil-A of chicken tenders.
Okay.
Like I'm taking Raising Cane's chicken tenders over Chick-fil-A's chicken tenders.
Agreed.
Where's this at?
They got one in Boardman, one in Niles. There's probably one in Pittsburgh area or Cranberry, I'm guessing.
What's it called?
Raising
Raising
Cane's.
Raising
Cane's.
Cane's.
yeah, there's
I'll
one in
check it out.
Boardman.
Dude, the
check it
toast is the best part, though. That toast, oh my God.
I still need to check
Texas
out what we were
toast.
talking about on the last podcast where it was you guys were saying like fucking egg roll pizzas. You guys were talking
No,
about
pizza rolls. It's not a place. It's just pizza roll.
The pizza logs.
Yeah.
Oh, you know about pizza logs?
Oh, yeah.
They sell them at some of the bars around here. Also, buffalo chicken logs.
Yeah,
And
I've
they have
never
a
had
couple.
it.
You
They have
never had a pizza
hamburger
log?
ones
Yeah,
too.
No, I'm about to.
They're so good.
I'm probably gonna be going into
Buffalo
into
chicken,
town, so I'll
freaking
probably
egg
get
rolls,
some today.
basically.
See what it's about.
Oh yeah, when we owned the bar way back in my younger days, like we had pizza logs. They were good. We got our food from like Maplevale Farms, was the company that delivered our food. But
Yeah, there's one. They always run at them at the grocery store, and you can buy them wholesale online. You
Yeah.
can get like 60 of them for $120.
Yeah, so I was just
bucks.
telling Cameron last time. I was like, dude, you could buy the buffalo chicken ones online. You could literally just buy them and deep fry them yourself or bake them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't have enough like freezer space
yeah.
to keep 60 fucking pizza logs. Not that they wouldn't go to good use.
Oh, yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
Not like they
definitely
wouldn't
could
go
do that.
quick or anything, you know.
Yeah.
They're great.
But we're probably gonna have to wrap up. Is
It's a good
anything
place
else
to end right
anybody
there.
wants to-
yeah, there's
Food,
pizza
yeah.
log. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mac Young,
They're-
thanks for coming out, dude.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
having
it's
me.
awesome,
It was
yeah.
It's
good.
been awesome having you on here. Hopefully, we'll see you around.
You gotta get me when man.